Good morning. Forgetting something, man. I'm forgetting something. And I'm going to be very disappointed when I remember what it is. Anywho, good morning, everybody. I think I'm looking at myself from a different angle. That feels better, I guess. Cyber says Twitch has not been good about updating when Omni goes live on my end. Yeah, it hasn't really been telling me when homies go live either. I feel like when I do get the notification, yeah, they've been live for about an hour. Yeah, about an hour.
Oh, God! It is so good to see you!
Good morning, Danger Cow. Good morning, Psych. Good morning, Liana. Ooh, the pink names. Good morning, Alex. Alex says we in here. Or at least I am. Twitch notifications are pretty much non-existent for me, says Danger Cow. I'm sorry to hear this, guys. I'm really sorry to hear this. I'm sorry to hear this, but I'm also glad because it means... Oh, well, I guess we can go over the weather. It's chill. It's blue. Hold on, let me see if I can get this a little bit more level. There we go. Yeah, it's chill and blue and nice and good. I have no complaints, at least about the weather. It's Sierra Boo today. Alex says, I'm glad I'm not the only one who's been having issues with Twitch notifications. Yeah, so the thing about Twitch notifications is I have some friends that don't stream regularly, you know? Well, that's not what I mean to say. I have friends that stream regularly, but I have friends that don't stream with any type of schedule. And since I'm not super on top of my social media web, it means that I have to rely on two things in order to know when friends go live. Either they post it in my Discord, or their own Discord, and they tag everybody so I get the notification, or I get the Twitch notification. And as we know, the Twitch notification isn't super reliable, so I kind of rely on strictly Discord to know when these friends go live. Now, there are some friends of mine that have extremely reliable schedules, like Soups, who we'll be raiding into today. Soups is always live at the same times. The only time I've ever seen Soups not live is when Soups is out of town or Soups is feeling under the weather. Those are the only times I've ever seen Soup just not stream. And I'm kind of the same way. I stream the same time. I stick to my schedule unless I'm out of town or feeling under the weather. And most of the time, I'll stream while I'm feeling under the weather. So it's usually just when I'm out of town. Alex says, with my buddy Heath, my buddy Heath streamed for 4 hours last night and I didn't get anything. Yeah, see, that's horrible. What am I supposed to do with that? Super unreliable. I don't quite understand it, if I'm being honest, just because I feel like, and I don't really have any examples, so don't put me on the stand for this, but I feel like I have other apps that do a pretty good job of sending me prompt push notifications, you know? I remember I used to have my Twitter before my Twitter got wild. Oh, thanks for ooh, that's a whole year. Wow. Really though? I thought that I started Twitch in March. Something's weird, Liana. Is that weird to you too? Because I feel like I've seen that for other people. People have been like, Omni, you have subs to me somehow more months than I've been streaming. I've subbed to, I think it was Wicked. Wicked came in and Wicked was like, I haven't even been streaming that long. I don't know how your sub count exceeds. I think the count is +1. Oh. Interesting. Why? Why though? Is it this really simple explanation that I'm just not getting? I'm putting you on the stand, he says, Alex. I don't even remember what I was supposed to be on the stand. Oh, because back when, okay, so before my Twitter got wild, when I had I don't know, 300 followers and they weren't really doing too much, I used to have my Twitter set up to push notifications so that anytime I was mentioned or added or replied to, I got a notification through the Twitter app letting me know hey man, people are trying to get at you. And then obviously once it got a little crazier and I was getting notifications more often, I had to turn it off because it was just annoying. But back then, yeah, Twitter was giving, literally within 5 seconds of the tweet being made, I had a push notification that so-and-so had mentioned me on Twitter. And I just don't understand why Twitch can't have that same amount of punctuality when it comes to notifications? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Constrano says, I'm in the street. Just opened up the app to say hi. Hee hee hee. See you later. Bye, Constrano. Please be safe in the streets. Oh, yeah, this says, because when you start, it says people sub for 1 month. So 0 equals 1. When you start, it says people sub for 1 month. Oh, it's like Korean babies. I get it. It's like Korean babies. Hold on. Thank you, Alex. Oh, I lost it. I lost it in the time it took me to finish the theme. I was going to say something. I was talking about 0 being 1. Korean babies. Cyber says Mad Maggie video drop. I'm going to tell you what's hot. Who's Mad Maggie? Oh, crap. Oh, yeah. Tell me what's up. Tell me what her skills are. Hey, what's up, Meteor Maniac? Welcome. I was going to say something. It was kind of important, I think, maybe. Oh, when I look at the intro video now, I'm dreading making another one. Because the intro changed between Season 3 and Season 4. Like, I made a whole new intro video. Because Season 3's intro video didn't have the plants featured in it. There was no plant feature. It was just like featuring live music and production. And that was it. And then I added the plants in this new video. And like now every time I see it, I'm just like, man, I don't want to like make a whole nother freaking video. But I'm going to make a whole nother freaking video. There will be no Rest in Peace Ellis in it. Ellis will be completely removed from the intro video. Because, you know, you've seen a TV show. Once a character is dead, they died like 2 seasons ago. You don't keep having them in an intro video. So I'm going to have to take Ellis out of it. I'm going to have to add some other stuff into it. I might add like the Yay or Boo, like clips from Yay or Boo, maybe clips from Trash Tuesday or something. Because those are things that probably will survive into Season 5. Just tweak it, says Liana. Oh, like Moesha did? Moesha. Oh, Yay or Boo musical flourish. Yay or Boo is drum and bass, isn't it? Wait, no it isn't. I think it is drum and bass. I can't hear it in my head. I mean, I can hear the chords, obviously, because I reuse the same chords for every bump. Wow. If you do something enough times, guys, I'm going to play a song now, though, but if you do something enough times, it becomes like a monolith, you know? It's like any habit, you know? If you eat cereal, you know, you wear the same hat or something, you're like, I'm the hat guy. I'm the guy that wears the big bucket hat. After a while, that bucket hat becomes you, and you can't remember. It's hard to even remember the decision to start wearing the bucket hat. It's just now bucket hat. It's ever present, you know? I feel that way about some of the... Like, when I hear that, I did at one point write that, you know? like I had to make those chords, and they're not complicated chords, but they almost feel like they predate the stream in some weird way. I don't have hot water in my apartment right now. My hot water heater did something really weird yesterday. I think it tried to kill me. If you look at my Google search history, it's very funny. It's a very funny Google search history because it's like, it's just, why are kosher dogs so expensive? Why is my hot water heater loud? Is it possible for a hot water heater to blow up? What knob makes the hot water heater blow up? I'm having a serviceman come look at it soon, but it's wild. The hot water heater sounded like, I was like, oh, this is it. This is going to be a really funny way to die. This is going to be a really funny way for people to, like, find out that I'm dead on Thursday. Me when I fumble over my words and for the 5th time today. I'm the scat man. Skibidi-bidi-bum-ba-da-bo. Bum-ba-da-bo. Skibidi-bidi-bum-ba-da-bo. Bum-ba-da-bo. The song is called Signals. None-ang. I won't get too graphic, but I took the wildest shower. I took a shower like how kids like get into the pool in November when they're just like you have to like steel your nerves or just like ah. That's why I have the side part again, because I couldn't do a full hair wash. I was like, I'm gonna die in here. I'm gonna die. I'm gonna freeze to death. I'm such a baby. I'm pretty sure I was warmer in my cold shower in LA winter than people are like standing in the sun in Detroit right now. But I couldn't do it. I couldn't handle it. It was too much. Thanks. Whoa, that's Slama. Slama, how do you always manage to get Booba? How is Booba never redeemed when you come in? Wait. What did Alex buy? I really need to get back into playing the keyboard, says Danger Cow. Do you? You know what I need to get back into, Danger Cow? What does that sound? That's Booba, and here he is. He just got watered this morning, so be patient with him. I like it. Okay, like I understand, like this is like not necessarily the thing that marks a healthy plant, but I like it when plants have the amount of leaves that you can count. I like it when leaves are big and scarce, if that makes sense. I don't like plants necessarily that have small, plentiful leaves as much as I like plants that have huge, scarce leaves, or huge few, I guess. And Booba, I kind of cheated for Booba, right? Because Booba isn't technically a baby, so there's no tiny leaves really on him. It's all big leaves because he was propagated from an adult. Mad Maggie is aggressive. It's in her name. It's in the name. That's a slogan for something. I think it's like a meat or something like that. Best Buy, it's in the name. Best Buy is not a meat. Cyber says, aggressive, it's in her name. When she shoots people, they stay highlighted behind cover so she can track them. She smell blood. When she equips shotgun, she run faster. Her tactical is a little spider she throws on a wall, or barrier, or Gibby shield dome, and it sends fire damage the other... It sends fire damage on the other side? What, like it reflects bullets? Or... It's like a dome that shoots bullets. And her ultimate, she throws a ball. Wow. Boo! Thanks, Psych. Look at that. Look at it. It's true. Black is slimming. Black is slimming. Slama says, Apex Gamer. Slama's gonna be a Mad Maggie main. Mad Maggie mains rise up. Her spider attaches to a surface and sends thermite fire damage all on the other side. Oh. I don't know how I feel about that. Like how Fuse sends popcorn crackle damage when his cluster lands. Oh, okay, I guess. I can see how that could be cool. EA Sports, it's in the game. EA Sports, it's in the name. Okay, so there's a beach here, Alex, called... It's called Detweiler? Sorry, no, it's called Dockweiler. I always say Detweiler because I think of TJ from freaking Recess. But anyways, there's a beach here called Dockweiler. And people typically go to this beach at night because it's next to the airport. And if you go to the beach at night, when the planes fly over, it's like really cool. I don't know. If you're into that kind of thing, you can like lay on the beach and all these planes fly really low overhead because it's by LAX. But if you go at night, it's really dark. The road going to it's really, really dark, and your only light is the lights from LAX and the Electronic Arts building. Like there's this big glowing like EA logo like going to the beach. It's really foreboding. Hello, Valiant. Valiant. Every time I see the word Valiant, I think of the game Valorant, which is a game I can't play. Every time our ultimate ball hits the ground, it makes a speed boost pad on the ground, like Mario Kart, that increases speeds. It's like an Octane jump pad, except there's no jumping involved, and the ball explodes as it rolls after its enemies. I don't know if the ball tracks enemies or if it's just basically another way to rush the opponent with their speed boost. I think that's really interesting. I haven't seen an ult that interesting in a while. I think on paper that doesn't sound that cool, but I'm pretty sure within like 2 days of playing the game, somebody's going to figure out a weird way to exploit it. And so I look forward to seeing that. EA Sports, the last 4 games have been the same game. EA Sports. The last 4 games have been the same game. Whenever I think of EA Sports, I think of, I think it was 2K that I played. Not 2K, sorry. It was just NBA. It was like NBA, I don't know, 1997. I don't remember which the last one I played, but it was like not 3D. Or it was like, I don't know, that weird middle ground, like how NBA Jam is 3D, but it's like kind of not. It was like that. I don't know that I've played many EA games since then. I think I might have played a Star Wars game. And I think EA owns Star Wars or something like that. Hey, what's up, Blot Part? Thanks for redeeming Viv. And there she is. The smallest forever. She'll never outgrow the other ones. She's the runt of the litter. Has Viv's Tune always used that instrument? No. No. It usually uses piano. I just felt like changing it up a little bit. Oh, and there he is. There's Sphero. Thank you. Thank you, Riot. Oh, and good morning, Riot. EA Sporty Kong. What was his name? Funky Kong? Funky Kong's the only Kong I really get down with. Thank you, Lindsay. She's doing okay. She spent last night in the bathroom, but she didn't get all the humidity that she wanted because I'm having issues in my apartment right now. Oh. So I'll have to take better care of her this weekend. But she's alright. She's alright. She's not suffering by any means. I'm just very particular about Zia things. Watchman Flop says Over the Horizon? Why does it sound familiar? Why does it sound familiar to me? Over the Horizon. Banjo Zia. I like Banjo Zia. That's chill. There's Agnes. Agnes's theme. Ooh, there you go. There you go. There you go. Ooh, I think it's framed good today. The framing is never consistent with this stream, but today I'm okay with it. Thanks, Danger Cow, for the Agnes. And thank you, Alex. Whoa! You got one in. Watchman Flop says, that's the Samsung theme. It sounded like you were playing it. Oh. Oh, like for like Samsung phones? I haven't had a Samsung phone in a really long time, so I don't know that theme particularly by heart, but I'm sure if I heard it right now, I would remember it. I'm sure I would remember it. No, these are all plant themes, Watchman. I made these themes for my plants. Speaking of, that was a Nobu redeem. Thank you again, Alex. Hey, what's up, Lucas? Oh, you're saying Firo's theme sounds like the over the Samsung. The Samsung. That one? What if I did? What if I accidentally completely ripped off a Samsung ringtone? Would you guys be mad if Firo's theme was actually the Samsung default ringtone? I would be a little mad, if I'm being honest. I'd be a little upset. Does anybody know what it sounds like in their head other than Watchman? Because I don't want to Google it right now because I don't want to play it on stream, but I kind of want to hear what it sounds like. Maybe I'll listen to it during one of the bumps to see how close it is. I'd be good with it, to be honest. Mess, says Leon. Lindsay says, an instrument makes me want to hear a marching band version of the plant themes. Somebody made a joke, like some stand-up comedian made a joke recently about like how much marching bands suck, and it like made me laugh so hard. And I didn't even think marching bands suck. It's just I too get tired of hearing whatever the biggest top 40 record is of the year performed by a marching band for a freaking Thanksgiving parade. I don't really want to hear all the single ladies in the marching band. And that wasn't necessarily his joke. His joke was just like, that they suck. But male marching bands suck. I have no take. I think that all marching bands are actually pretty sick. I think all marching bands are actually pretty sick. I think the comedian's take was, I don't want to hear you do the song I like, which I totally get. There's a certain thing that lights up in people's head, and I think it's just familiarity, right? Like you're hearing a marching band, and they start playing a song you know, and you go, but that's Bruno Mars's Uptown Funk, honey, come listen, they're playing Bruno Mars's Uptown Funk. It does something to you, and I understand that. Because like when chiptune was really big, in my head, I don't know, people would make like chiptune covers of like popular songs, and I'd be like, that's System of a Down and chiptune. That's pretty sick, bro. And so I get that, but I don't know, man. Marching bands, I view a marching band, here's how I view a marching band, which, is, you can judge for yourself whether you think this is fair or not. I view a marching band as something that I really like to come in a song. Bagpipes, marching bands, choirs. I love it when they come into a song to add an element, but I don't like it when it's just 30 minutes of just that. As much as I love gospel choirs, like, I don't really want to listen to 30 minutes of gospel choir. Like, please have a band in there. Please add something else or something. I just get exhausted sonically. The sameness exhausts me. This song is called Doublets. A number between 2 and 30. 2 and 30. Yeah, it's usually Kiwi that does the dapper up. Why are you as a man putting horseradish on anything, says Dar. Dar doesn't like horseradish. Um, I've had things that horseradish were in that were pretty chill, but I don't know if I just use it as a straight up condiment. I've never purchased horseradish, I'll put it that way, but there's a lot of things I haven't purchased. A home. Lindsay says 27. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. What do you say, 27? 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27. Yeah. You know, it's really hard to get up into those last bits, you know. It's hard to get up into the last ones. I'll tell you that. I'll tell you what. This is what you've chosen. This is how it arrived. This is the tie you've chosen today. It's just monochromatic stripes from dark to white. Am I out of touch, says Alex? Am I getting old? You're out of touch. I'm out of time. Oh, we've already done a Hall & Oates recommendation, haven't we? We did. I can't remember what song it was. It might have been that song that I just started singing, actually. You're out of touch. I'm out of time. Yo. How do you do... Yeah, it was when we were talking about Philadelphia, because they were from Philly. We did it during Philadelphia week. What is the P on your cardigan for? The P is for prep school. I used to be signed to a label called Prep School. If anybody knows the artist, or like the DJ Dr. Fresh, he's also on Prep School. Anybody knew Zelina? Zelina was also on Prep School. Who else was on Prep School? It was just like a music label. Music label / collective. There was somebody that was on Prep School that's like pretty big now. I'm just blanking on it for some reason. But yeah, it was when you got signed to it. They gave everybody like Letterman jackets or cardigans, and at the time I was like team cardigan, so they gave me a cardigan, and then I released 4 songs on that label, and then I left. My contract was how we looking? Oh, fresh. Actually, this bow tie goes really well with this cardigan. Actually, I'm feeling preppy with it. Reb says, so, I tied an onion to my belt. What? Pop Morris says, yeah, but did they pay royalties? LMAO. The label? Yeah. Yes. I used some of those royalties to move here. Reb says, so I tied an onion to my belt, which was the style at the time. Now I take the ferry, cost a nickel. This is a journey, and I haven't quite found where I'm going yet, Sareb. And in those days, nickels had pictures of bumblebees on them. Give me 5 bees for a quarter, you'd say. Now where were we? Oh yeah, the important thing that was the onion on my belt. That was the style at the time. They didn't have onions because of the war. Is this a Grandpa Simpson quote? Are you Simpsoning me? The only thing that you could get, on those big yellow ones. The only thing you could get was those big yellow ones. I think cardigans give me dysphoria, says Dar. I'm sorry to hear that, Dar. Just don't wear them. Just don't look. Just don't look. There's another Simpsons reference for you. Reb says, finally an obscure enough Simpsons reference to get him. Oh, it was Grandpa Simpson. Wait, maybe it wasn't Grandpa Simpson, actually. Maybe it wasn't Grandpa Simpson. Maybe it was a different Simpsons character. I could have guessed wrong. It was Grandpa, says Reb. Never mind. Oh, I'm solid still. I'm still golden, baby. I exposed myself, though, Sareb. I put myself out there, because now people know I like Simpsons. Now I feel like it's a game. People are going to try to make Simpsons references I don't get. No, that's fair. Yo, what a voice, though, because even when you were saying it, I could, at a certain point, I could read it in Grandpa Simpson's voice, and I think it was the "Now Where Were We" quote. I think it was the "Now Where Were We." I quoted Grandpa Simpson yesterday when I said 19-dickety-2. I had an interaction with somebody on Twitter that talked about the man screams at cloud meme. They were like, oh, I hate to be old man screams at cloud, or old man yells at cloud. And I was like, such a solid Simpsons reference. And they were like, what? Is that from The Simpsons? I thought that was just a funny thing that Twitter said. And I was like, wow, holy crap. Simpsons is getting divorced from their own media now. Sareb says, oh, it's 100% of a game for me. You've gotten too many of them for me to stop. Guys, we did the plan so early. I think we're going to finish on time today. Everybody. I'm going to play 3 more songs, and then we can head over to the check-in. The first of the 3 is going to be Home, I guess. I gotta get out. Have a nice dream, man. Bye, Danger Cow. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. You know what I say a lot, Alex? I don't want to make this a Simpsons stream, but you know what I say a lot? That is such a weird Simpsons reference that's not even funny out of context, and nobody gets it. Jaime! 1 year! Wow, the 1 year subs are rolling in. It feels good. It feels weird because it hasn't been a year, but as Liana explained, it's like Korean babies, and so now I understand it, and so it does feel good for 1 year. Whoa, you know what that actually means? That means 1 year is 2 seasons worth of Morning Medley. It's an interesting way to think about it, because we started season 3 a year ago, and we're closing season 4 now, so yeah, 2 seasons a year. Interesting. Something to think about. Anyways, something I say, Alex, a lot is McMainer-Berry Whoopin'. McMainer-Berry Whoopin' is, like, in my brain forever. So weird. And also, I don't know, like, for anybody else, like, in the Simpsons, there's, like, there's a rival town to Springfield, and the episode about the rivalry is really stupid, but that's one of the things that is said in McMainer-Berry. I'm gonna give you a McMainer-Berry whooping. Alex says, I had them all lined up to go, and then my power flickered. I feel like that was a higher power telling me, maybe let that joke stay in the drafts, Alex. Oh, God. What was that? Ooh, I don't know where that's going, but I like that. Let me get horns really quick. You have to go there. Maybe go there. That's where I want to go. Maybe like that. So if I was playing with the roads, it's like. Don't let me forget that one. Anyways, I have a pizza I need to pick up. Says Cyber. Domino's has goof as a. Thank you, Cyber, for saying goofed. Domino's has a goofed deal in my area. If you pick up your own pizza, you get $3 off your next pizza. Domino's would be like, "Hey, come pick it up." No, you come get it. Well, the next one will be cheaper, but you come get it. Every time I eat Domino's, my body says, why? It tastes good, but my body always says, why, afterwards. And so, I'm not saying I won't eat Domino's again. I'll definitely be eating it again. But I'm just, I'm trying to exercise some type of restraint. Why does Domino's always make me feel that way? What's wrong with my body? Is it the cheese? Save me a slice, dang, says Jaime. They have a coupon where it's like any size pizza up to large, 3 topping, and you can get for $8. So my large pizza ended up being less than the hot and ready with more toppings. Honestly, Cyber though, those Cybers, honestly, I feel like every single time I see like Domino's, it's like, come in here and we've got a large 1 topping for $11. I go in there and somehow it ends up being $14. I don't understand how tax works when you walk into like the Domino's dimension, but I swear every single time they have a deal. When I go, I'm not saying this is true for everybody else, but when I go and they're like, 3 large toppings for $16.99, somehow I end up spending $25 and I didn't get anything extra. It's really weird. Maybe it's only happening to me, but that's why I never trust Domino's deals. I know what you're talking about, but you got to game the system. Okay, word. All right. So it isn't just me. You just like figured out a way to like circumnavigate the Domino's dimension. Domino's and Pizza Hut do be making me feel scuffed the day after. Pizza Hut is honestly the only pizza chain that I will actively turn down. Like if somebody says, bro, you want pizza? And I say yes, and they say the only thing around here is Pizza Hut, I say, let's get Chinese food instead. Like I do not want Pizza Hut. I don't think it tastes disgusting. It's just, it's not a good experience for me ever. Like, it's not disgusting. It's just not it. It's not it. Gotta hack the planet. Wait, what is that from? Hack the planet. That's a thing, right? You don't like the pan-fried pizza. Maybe that is what it is, actually, Cyber. Maybe I just don't like pan-fried pizza, maybe? Pizza Hut is blessed, says Lindsay. Yeah. I can't tell if Pizza Hut changed or if I changed. Because I want to say since 1997, let's say 8. Since 1998, like if you went back in time to 1998, my take is that Little Caesars, Papa John's, Domino's, Pizza Hut all actually tasted different. Like I think all of the pizza changed. But I can't tell if I changed so much in that if I went back to 1998 and tried 1998 Pizza Hut, maybe I would like it. Or if I still wouldn't like it, that means I changed more, right? My mom suggested it the other day, and I was shocked and appalled. Yeah, I'm not going to do Pizza Hut. What? Oh, it's because Cyber said hack the planet. No, Abby said hack the planet. Abby, what is that? Originally from the movie Hackers, but referenced often, including the new She-Ra series. I must have got it by osmosis, because I haven't seen She-Ra or Hackers. I haven't seen Hackers all the way through. My friend tried to show it to me, but, my friend put on Hackers because he's like, oh, we need to watch Hackers. And then he put on Hackers and then just started making out with his girlfriend the whole time. And I was like, I don't like this. And maybe that's my problem. Maybe I'm the baby in this situation. But, like, if you invite me over to your crib and for us to watch a movie together, I'm gonna feel weird, man. If you just, like, spend the whole time, like, macking on, like, I don't know. Anyways, I left. So I never got to see Hackers all the way through, but it seemed cool. Hackers is good. The beginning is slow, says Kid. Maybe that's why they were making out. They were trying to, like, snog through the slog. Snog through the slog. Is that a thing? Because if it's not, I need it. Hold on. I'm sorry, guys. This is unprofessional. Oh my god, if this isn't a thing, guys. Ugh. Because I'm a... Okay, hold on. Snog through the slog? Are you kidding me? That's not a thing? It's freaking mine, guys. It's mine. It's mine now. Only I can say it now. Snog through the slog? Yeah, that goes hard. King Bertle would actually be the one to ask because King lives over where they actually say snog. Does anybody say that, King? Where you are? Does anybody say snog through the slog? Because if they don't, let everybody on the island know. Let everybody over there. Let everybody in the Commonwealth know it's mine now, and they can't have it. Oh, it's so sick. Bro, I'm Swedish, not British. King Bertle, I literally just had this argument. I had this argument over boba literally yesterday, where I was talking to my friend, and she was like, "Yeah, I think I'm going overseas for a while," and I was like, "Cool, yeah, I haven't been to London in a while," and she was like, "Why do you just assume every time somebody's on the other side of the Atlantic Ocean that they're British or that they're going to England or that they're coming from England?" I'm like, "Oh, that's a good point. You've made a good point." Nobody says snog in Sweden. That makes good sense. Good morning, Titanium. Welcome to the check-in. You're right on time. Christ. King Bertle. I've often wanted to go to the land of the Swedes just because I feel like they take better care of their artists there. Or at least they did 5 years ago when I wanted to go. Snog through the slog. That's so sick, bro. It's right there. Ultra Mommy, good morning. Abby says the movie Hackers feels like how hacking feels, but the movie Hackers does not look like what hacking looks like. It's a good movie, but it's like watching the imagination of a hacker, not watching the actions of a hacker. Abby, you've done good here. You've done good by me. You've managed to word what I was trying to word in a conversation I had yesterday. I feel like there's a whole thing where if you do the thing and then you want to show somebody the thing, oh my god, Abby, this is so good. This is very good. Well, I'm going to get to my check-in just a second, Abby. And this is not necessarily a take on Hollywood at large because, yeah, hacking probably isn't that entertaining to watch. But I feel like as somebody who does a thing, and all of us do things, when it comes time to share the thing with others, we almost we almost unintentionally or subconsciously embellish. And sometimes the embellishment can come from omitting boring parts of that thing or unentertaining parts of that thing. Or sometimes it could be way less subtle and way more heavy-handed, where we're just like, oh yeah, and then I wrote a one hit, I wrote a top 40s hit in 30 seconds and now I'm famous. And yesterday I was living on the sidewalk. Like, I feel like that's not an accurate portrayal of how the music industry works. But sometimes when you're trying to tell people a story to entertain them, you need to like punch up things to make it entertaining. Like when you're looking at a biography and you're like, I'm pretty sure it didn't happen that way. And I feel like a lot of times we think of that as how movies work and how TV shows work. But I think we do that, like, think about like the cooking videos you've seen. Like, they typically cut out the boring parts of cooking. They don't really show the people washing dishes. They don't really show the people like, there's a lot that gets cut out. Even when I do production streams for you guys, I talked recently, a week ago, 2 weeks ago, about how I don't produce the same when I'm not streaming. When the stream ends and I close OBS, I produce quite differently because I'm no longer conscious of an audience that is looking at what I do. I try to explain for the most part what I'm doing while I'm doing it. I don't do things that are too complicated. I also don't record vocals. That's another thing I don't do. I don't get too stuck on ideas. If an idea isn't working on stream, I abandon it. There's a lot. Yeah, things are different, but it's a good point, Abby. I haven't seen the movie Hackers, but I can imagine. Yeah, it's like probably a very sensationalized and mysticized version of what hacking probably actually looks like. I've never hacked a thing. Nobody would want to watch actual hacking, says Psych. I've never hacked a thing. So I don't know from experience how hacking works. Oh man, check-in. Just got back from Williamsburg. Had a classic pre-Friday burrito and had a nice little walk in the rain. That's nice. I'm glad you got the big Rito. I haven't been to Williamsburg since 2017, and I feel like when I finally go back, I'm not going to recognize it. Mr. Robot got it right, says Cyber, talking about hacking. Is Mr. Robot HBO? If Mr. Robot's on a thing that I can watch, maybe I'll watch it. Is it Netflix? Pre-Friday burrito. Pre-Friday burrito sounds nice, says Lindsay. I haven't had a burrito in a hot minute, actually. Wait. That's a lie. I had a burrito 2 days ago. Jaime says, check in. Got snow in Texas, so school is canceled for today and tomorrow. Also, I'd like to let you know I've been playing some Omni discography in the class and somehow been rediscovering Lustream. I'm glad. My friend. Oh my god. First of all, before I jump off of this, I like your check-in, Jaime. Sounds sick, and I hope you spend these snow days doing something nice for yourself. But thank you also for listening to my music. I hung out with a homie named Mars. I made a song with her a while ago. Sometimes I played on the Friday streams, but I got to see her for the first time in several years, and she said, because we were talking about catalogs and like, my friends don't really know my music. My friends don't really listen to my music, and that's just how it is, Sometimes your friends aren't the people that are going to consume your art. It's your audience who does that, and the line sometimes is blurred, but usually it's pretty clear. And so she doesn't really listen to my music much. And she was like, I don't really know what you're working on or what you came out with most recently, but I really like that one song. And she like hummed the melody from it. And I was like, that's Dark Rose. Like, I know Lustream enough to where I could point it out. And I was like, you're talking about Dark Rose. She was like, yeah, I really like that song. Like, I think I listened to that song like maybe once a week. And I was like, that's so interesting to me because I came out with that song after we had stopped hanging out, and it's interesting to me that somebody can pick stuff because it's like, just as well as anybody, Jaime, that like once you make something and you put that out there, you like move on to the next thing and you don't really revisit a lot of your old work. But I'm glad that you're rediscovering Lustream. That was an important body of work for me at that point in time to get out. Simulation Cat says, howdy, Omni in chat. Howdy, Simulation Cat. Cyber says, Omni changed a lot. Uh-oh. What did I do? Is it the burrito thing? Oh, or is it the Williamsburg thing? I feel that. As soon as the stream's over, I'm doing things way slower. Yeah, I change it up. I do things way slower when the stream ends, and that's good. It's good and it's bad, right? I feel like anytime, even when I'm here doing this thing, it's like whenever you're doing things in front of an audience, and this is not a me thing. This is everybody. This is all of you guys. When you guys do things in front of an audience, you do things differently. than if you like how you normally would behave. Even if the audience is just one person. Like if I go and get food with one person, I'm going to carry myself a little bit differently, talk a little bit differently. Maybe I'll even eat a little bit differently, you know, because now there's people here. And now there's people here. Put your pants on. Hack the mainframe, says Liana. We got to do it. All Abby does is hack, says Kit. Oh. Mr. Robot is the best hacking-based drama in the past 10 years, and it absolutely got everything right, says Cyber. So yes, if it's done right, people want to watch hacking shows. Oh, word. I'm gonna have to take your word for it, because again, I haven't seen this show, but I do know a lot of people are like, oh, I want Kiss Mr. Robot. I know that was a big thing for a while. People were posting, I want to kiss him. Hack my lips, Mr. Robot. Williamsburg looks completely different, says Simulation Cat, since it did than it did in 2017. I believe that. That was when I was there in 2015, everybody kept using the term up and coming. And when people say up and coming about an area, I get nervous. Ultra Mommy says, yeah, streaming production might be weird to get used to. I think I'll enjoy it though. I think you'll enjoy it too, Ultra Mommy. It just you produce differently. I'll say that, but it's not better or worse, I don't know. I can't say that, but it's definitely different. All she knows is hack and eat hot chip, be gay. Somebody said a similar joke prefaced and directed at me, and I felt a way about it. I felt a way about it. That's sick, though. I don't like hot chip, though. The band's sick. The food make me sick. Dar says, check-in. Felt pretty awful this morning, but then listened to Price Tags by Jasmine Sullivan and ate hearty beef stew, and I feel better. Yeah, music and food does go a long way when it comes to trying to feel better. Maybe that's why I feel so bad right now. Kwame says, Omniswag on Infinity. Oh, word. Is it the cardigan? Thank you, Kwame. I appreciate that. And welcome and good morning to you. Give me your check-in. Simulation Cat says, check-in. I got the job that I applied for, so that's cool. That was fast. That was quick. I feel like you just went in for that interview like a day ago. I got the job that I applied for, so that's cool. It's not like the most honorable job, I guess, but it seems very chill, and the owners seem very sweet, which is all I can ask for. Playing Snatcher on the stream tonight. Snatcher. What is Snatcher? I've never even heard of this. At least I don't think I have. It's interesting what singular things will resonate with people, says Liana. This is also true. I'm constantly seeing a show. Like, for example, I was reading the Game of Thrones books, right, before the show existed. And somebody said, I remember somebody coming up to me and they were like, they're making a show of these books. And I was like, why? These books would make a terrible show. Like, those dumb words literally came out of my mouth. I was like, nobody's gonna want to watch this. This is weird. There's a lot of, like, incest and, like, rape and stuff like that in here. I don't know how they're gonna do it. And people were like, HBO! Home box office, that's how. And people loved that show. I still haven't seen it, but, yeah, people resonate with really interesting things that sometimes it's really easy to predict for me, and other times, you know, I don't see it coming. I didn't know that It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia would last this long as a TV show. As somebody who likes the show. For show, producing quickly and on instinct is its own muscle. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes. Absolutely. Production, I will say production streams have made me go about flipping my own samples differently, because when I'm actually editing a sample, guys, it takes a long time. Like when I'm like positioning a sample, but because on stream I don't want to bore people, I do it really fast, and that speed in itself opens up a weird different sonic area, because things aren't properly edited and mixed and cultivated. They're just thrown together, and that like haste is its own sound, if that makes sense. Jaime says, students have taken positively towards me playing the music in class, except for one kid that just wants to listen to Rihanna's song Work for an hour and a half, LMAO. I'm glad that the kids like my music. However, for that Rihanna fan out there, you might want to keep an eye on that one. Rihanna fans aren't to be trusted. I've never met a Rihanna fan that I trust. Streams are like workout sesh. It is like a workout sesh. You just like flex a bunch. You're like working to build the muscles. Streams are like a workout session, and then like actually going out and performing and then making music is kind of like doing the thing that doing the thing. What was it? Doing one of these? What the special poses? I saw somebody. I thought of a really funny thing to do, but I can't post it because I'm very protective of my voice. And I feel like if I start posting things that are just funny and not musical, I open up a black hole that'll swallow me in my catalog hole, and I don't want to have to deal with that. Kwame says Mr. Robot was off the chain. Still haven't seen it, but only heard good things. Maybe I'll eventually get around to seeing it. Is Mr. Robot on HBO? Because if it's on HBO, I'll never watch it. But if it's not, maybe there's some way I can access it. What game do you want to trade me to play you to watch Mr. Robot? Says Cyber. Cyber, is Mr. Robot on HBO? I'm cool and taking a little break at the office, says Kwame. That's good. I'm glad. I'm glad you're spending your break with me. I feel honored. Kid says, all Omni knows is drink Kalpas, play piano, and take the subway. Ugh, I love the subway. If I could figure out a way to do all three, if I could figure out a way to bring my Yamaha Reface on the subway and then drink Kalpas while playing it, I guess I'll ascend. That'll be my ascension point. Kwame says, check in. I'm meeting with my manager in about 20 minutes to go over my fiscal year 2022 and go over goals for 2023. I could potentially get a new manager and get realigned, so we'll see what happens. New single out tomorrow, and I'm very excited. Launched my new website to go with it, too. Congratulations, Kwame. Post about it in the Discord if you haven't already, because I know I'll forget, and it'll be more ever present for me if it's in my Discord. If you don't mind. Simulation Cat says Snatcher is an old Hideo Kojima game from the 80s. That's like old pixel style cyberpunk mystery. Oh, I think I was getting that confused with Police Knots. I think that's what I was doing, Simulation Cat. Because what you just described is what I thought Police Knots was. But if that's not Police Knots, then maybe I was thinking of Snatcher this whole time. South Park is an effing season 25, says Sareb. Yeah, that show been going. I wanted to see their like pandemic special that they did, but I just forgot that it existed until you just now brought up South Park. It's so anachronistic now, says Dar, talking about South Park. Can South Park please end, says Dar. You can tell it came out 25 years ago, and it's exhausting just to be around. I guess I'm not really around South Park, so I don't know. South Park, last time I watched it, which admittedly was several years ago, it was... Here's my take on South Park, and then I do need to move on because I can't do the thing. I can't do the thing right now. My take on South Park is that South Park is a really important show, and it has a lot... Like, the writing in it is super smart when it wants to be, and then it's also incredibly juvenile, almost at the point that it makes me want to stop watching sometimes. And I'm talking about years ago. I'm not talking about the current state of South Park. I don't know. I don't watch it now. But when I stopped watching it, it was like the smart high points were so smart and so high. And then it was like, but also here's 15 minutes of just poop joke. And I basically tolerated the poop joke for the really high points. And I was rewarded for it. I did enjoy my stay there. But after, there was like an episode where Stevie Nicks' song Landslide was actually in the show. And after that episode, I think I left. Not because that episode was bad or anything. It's just maybe stuff was going on in my life and I got too busy for it. Kwame says, Omni, I'll give you access to my Plex server so you can watch all my shows and movies. You know, Prenetic also brought up a Plex server. And when Prenetic brought up the Plex server, I didn't know what it was back then either. I'm not asking you to explain it to me now. What I'm doing is extending thank yous to both you and Prenetic, and apologies for my own ignorance. Leona says, maybe you need to throw away Garbage Jokes account. Maybe you need to throw away Garbage Jokes account. That used to be, ooh, I almost said his name out loud. I have a friend who has, I don't know, I don't follow him anymore, but he had an account, that his main account was Garbage Jokes account, and I would like ghostwrite crappy jokes and give them to him, and they would always pop off, but I was like, I don't want that garbage on my account. It was a fun exercise for sure. Period pieces are supposed to stay in their periods, says Dar. I disagree, but I'm not gonna stand on the hill and debate that point. Blot Park says, how about his music? How about his music? Whose music? Sorry, Blot Bart, I've gotten so behind on chat. Whose music? Police Knots is similar to that, says Simulation Cat, talking about Snatcher. I hate poop jokes, not gonna lie. Yeah, it's hard. It's hard. That's how I feel about most satire. The Boondocks made me feel that way. I feel that about the Boondocks, actually. I shouldn't have to sit through like 20 episodes of foolishness to get one episode about Riley being anything but a stereotype. Ooh, I want to talk about a show that I had to leave because it did that. But I can't because y'all snitch on me, so. Dar says, I feel like you don't have to be nuanced to be compelling, but satire made, and that time seems to not understand that you can be meaningful and funny, like, at the same time. Blot meant Louis Zong. Oh, I didn't even know we were talking about Louis Zong. I must have missed the Louis Zong thing. Louis Zong goes hard. Louis Zong is an amazing musician, and also just a dope person. Every time I talk about Louis Zong, I always talk about when me and him went to see Louis Cole at the Blue Whale. At the Blue Whale, a jazz club in Little Tokyo that's now closed. Like, the pandemic put it out of business, so rest in peace, Blue Whale. It was such a great venue, but I always tell that story because not only was that story like the first time that I met Louis Cole and found out how like nice of a person he was, but also like Louis Zong, like we had a really cool conversation that kind of changed the way I viewed him because me and him always hung out around other people. Like, we have a lot of friends in common, so it was always, like, group hangs. But that was the first time that I ever just, like, had a one-on-one conversation with him. And I was like, dang, all right. This is different. Blubber says, I just asked about him apropos of being funny. He came to mind. Oh, yeah, he's pretty funny, too. It's funny, when I hang out with him, he's not very funny. And I don't mean that as, like, an insult. When I'm, like, around him, all of our conversations are very sobering and serious and like introspective, pensive combos. But yeah, I love that dude. I love that dude forever. I don't care what he does in the future as far as like art or stuff like that. Obviously, I care if he like, I don't know, blows up a plane or something. But I don't care what he does in the future as far as art. Like that dude, I'm a supporter of that dude forever. He's great. Pour one out for the Blue Whale, says yeah, that venue was so sick. Freaking Louis Cole was always performing there. Freaking what's homie? Jeff Goldblum was always performing there. It was a different time. Anywho, we're in the check-in. Give me your check-in. I still have to do mine. Yesterday was chill. It was Wednesday. How many of you guys love Wednesdays? I love Wednesdays. Just can't get enough of them. Anyways, Wednesday was fine. After we streamed, we rated into I can't remember their username, but he was playing guitar. And I said, play Coldplay. He said, I always get really nervous whenever a musician says, do you have any requests, any songs you want me to play? Because I know that there's limitations to the human brain. And nothing is more uncomfortable to me than asking somebody for something and they can't do it. What if you went to a restaurant and there was no menu and they were like, what would you like? It's like, well, what do you know? What do you know how to make? And they're like, oh, just ask. And, the worst thing I could say is no. I know how to do a lot. Like, what do you want me to cook? And I'm like, chicken sandwich? They're like, ooh, I don't know that one. Anything else you like? Like, pizza? No pizza. I'm like, And then you try to go broad. You just like go like, what does everybody know how to make? You're like, do you have maybe burger? But anyways, I asked for Coldplay, and homie did like Coldplay, so it was freaking sick. But I was trying to make it, as broad and as big as possible, because I was like, Coldplay's pretty big. I feel like people that are knowing covers might know at least one Coldplay cover. Because J Bao does the same thing. J Bao is like, what do you want me to play? And I'm like, Stevie Wonder? Yeah, but J Bao knows Stevie Wonder. Check-in from Cyber says, fantastic stream last night. It was wild. Oh my god. I forgot that I was in there. That's part of my check-in. Anyways, it was wild. I had a lot of fun despite not actually playing much of the game. Hope to play the game tonight, though. LOL, I made stuffed bell peppers for dinner. Used Beyond Burger Meat. And my seasoning saved the day because they slapped and tasted great. Call me weird all you want. Cyber says otherwise. Work moves forward and thus the end of life. That's true. The end of your life is... People say rapidly approaching. I don't like that. I don't think it's rapidly approaching, right? I don't think it's ever rapidly approaching. I think the end of your life is approaching very slowly. I just think that some people's end of life got a head start, right? Like, if you're only going to make it to, like, I don't know, 30, and somebody else is going to make it to 100, I think death is approaching you at the same speed. It's just that somebody's is starting way in, Tallahassee, Florida. And maybe your death started, down the street. But I do want to play this Apex update at some point. I don't know what that means, but I got to try Beyond Burger. Cyber. I gotta try Beyond Burger. That's next week. Oh, word up. Okay. Word. It's approaching. Maybe not rapid. Okay. It's coming. Hoping and wishing and praying and loving and feeling and squeezing and chewing and glubbing. Alright, my check-in is that after we raided into this fine musician yesterday, I left my house. Oh, I've forgotten what I did yesterday, haven't I? Oh, Mars! That's what I did. So Mars, I have a song on House of Omni called Whisper, because there was a time where I ran a thing called House of Omni where a lot of musicians stayed here, and Mars was one of those musicians, so we made a song together. And she's always lived up in the Bay, and we have like this weird thing because people in the Bay hate LA, and people in LA hate the Bay, and it's unnecessary. It's unnecessary. They're just two places, guys. It's just two places. Nobody cares. But she was always very anti-LA because she was just like, LA people, I like the Bay. And I was like, whatever, man. It's just a city, And then when we hung out today, she had like this weird moment. She was like, I think LA might be better for me than the Bay. I think like as a musician, like it's just there's no support up here for people like me, yada yada. She went through this whole thing. And I just sat there and I drank my boba. Which, by the way, they put Superman in. Did anybody see that in, like, my stories or whatever? So they took matcha powder and they did the Superman logo on the top of my boba. And when the lady handed it to me, she made eye contact, because I've gone there several times. She made eye contact with me and she, like, giggled a little bit. She was like, here you go, Omni. And I was like, all right. And I looked at it and I was like, is this a prank? I don't know if this is like, is this supposed to make me happy? It's not a Superman-based drink. It's just a regular freaking green tea with milk foam top. Anyways, so I was like, I was sitting there like drinking my boba and looking at Mars, and I was just like, I'm not going to say I told you so. I'm not going to do it. I'm going to sit here and be a supportive adult and just say like, yeah, well, I'm glad that you figured out, what you want. And she was like, I'll probably be back down here. She's like trying to move from her area. And we talked about music, which was pretty cool. Got to reconnect with an old friend, which was nice. And then when we walked back here, I felt so rude because I realized like I don't give people proper goodbyes. And I think maybe either this is because of the pandemic and I've lost social skills, or maybe this is just the type of person I am. But I don't really say goodbye to people really properly. The way that I say farewell to a friend as we're standing in front of my apartment, and then I start walking up my stairs, and I go, Abo. Like, I start walking up my stairs while the conversation is going, and I'm like, yeah, that was sick. Abo, man. Like, I'll catch you later. I'll hit you later. Abo. That's it. And she was like, whoa, no hug, no photo? And I was like, oh, crap, you haven't seen me since 2017. Back then, I did used to hug and photo. So I gave her a hug, and we took a photo. And then I posted it. She posted it, then I posted it. And I was like, oh yeah, I got to see an old friend. And then I got some flack for that. Because I posted that photo and a bunch of people were like, yo, how come we never take photos? You never take photos when we get lunch? Yo, we were just hanging out yesterday, man. You didn't take a photo of us? I'm like, yeah, it wasn't my photo, man. She took it. I just shared it, bro. Anyways, that happened. And then my hot water heater tried to kill me, which I've already kind of told. My hot water heater did the thing, and it was like, kaboom. And now no hot water. So I have somebody coming to hopefully service that today, I guess. I took a very scary shower. I ate Left Wing. I went to H Mart. I was on Cyberstream. And then I ate meat. That's right. I was in Cyberstream and then I had to eat. And then I did the bills for the month of February. Or technically January, I guess. I did the bills for the month. And then I'm leaving out one thing. I'm forgetting something. I did the bills for the month. Oh, my friend called me. My friend called me. My friend's Instagram is getting hacked right now. Or it has been hacked. Speaking of hackers, my friend called me and was like, you know what's funny about that photo, Cyber? I took that photo because I was like, now time to watch Atlanta. And then I didn't. There's like a photo on my Instagram story that's like the thumbnail of Atlanta season 2. And I was like, now time to relax. Then like immediately after that, I got a phone call. And then I just turned the TV off. So I didn't get to watch anything. I got a phone call. My friend was like, hey, can you go to my Instagram real quick? And whenever, because this has happened before, whenever a girl calls me and then asks me to go to her Instagram, I'm scared. By default, I'm scared. I'm like, oh no, what happened? What did I do? What did somebody do? I don't want to know. Why am I being brought into this? But she was like, can you go to my Instagram really quick? And I was like, yeah. And I went to her Instagram and everything seemed fine. But I guess somebody like got her password and signed into her Instagram. And they've been like messaging people like really weird things. And so she had me message them. And I guess I just had a very regular conversation with somebody who has stole my friend's Instagram account. It was really weird. It was super weird, man. Anyways, that happened, and I cleaned. Oh, it's laundry day today, so I got my laundry stuff ready. It was chill. I mean, other than one Earth Sense, let's see, yeah, it's pretty wild. People are doing that. You know what's funny? They stole her account. And they're trying to get people to buy crypto through the account. They're running like a crypto scam through her account. And it is really sad because as somebody who's had their account stolen and then wiped, it's not cool, but we just live in really weird times, man. And speaking of weird times, without bumming anybody out, while I was talking to Mars and talking to a few other people, I said it I might have said it in the Discord or somewhere, but I was like, I can't tell if I'm just like in this world, and you know when like times seem worse when you're in them than when you get out of them, and you're like, that wasn't so bad. When like you get dumped and you're like, it's all over. You get fired and you're like, I guess I'm useless. And then a year or two goes by and you look back at that moment and you're like, oh, it was whatever. I was just really in my own head. I was in my bubble of bad feeling. I feel like, and I've been getting this general vibe from a lot of people too, so I feel less insular about it. I feel less isolated in this opinion. I feel like it's just a really bad time to be a musician. Like, if you're a music maker and you're trying to make a career out of that, or you're trying to like make money with that, it's maybe the worst time I've ever experienced in my lifetime to do that. And I don't know how to do it. I don't know how to tell people who are just now entering the music industry. Like, I don't know how to tell them, like, hey, man, it wasn't like this. It wasn't like this. It was actually pretty sick for a really long time, and I'm sorry. Because, yeah, right now it's a freaking nightmare. Because it's wild right now. And, like, I can't remember it ever being this bad. It's so freaking horrible. And then I, like, started looking at, like, everybody, like, doing, like, the NFT show. I called it the NFT shuffle to Mars yesterday, and she knew exactly what I was talking about. There's like a lot of like artists and music producers doing the NFT shuffle right now. I'm like, it's like, yeah, man. I think that something interesting that happens. This is where I'm closing my check-in. Something interesting that happens in spaces. This isn't just an art thing. This is just spaces. We build spaces. There's academic spaces. There's art spaces, there's movie spaces, there's food spaces, there's culinary spaces. Usually how I feel like it works is a new space comes in and destroys the old space. Tech people call it disrupting or whatever, right? Like new thing comes out, crushes old thing. Now new thing is the standard. New thing comes out and crushes that thing. Now new thing is the standard. And that keeps happening. What right now feels like is it feels like the current boat we were all on is sinking, but there isn't a new thing. There isn't like a life raft to get on. There isn't a new thing that is stable for people to calmly climb onto, right? Like I can remember in really innocuous states when like MySpace was MySpace, but Facebook was coming out. It wasn't that MySpace had like deteriorated and was horrible and we were all escaping to Facebook. It was like this slow thing where a few early people moved over and then gradually there was a few people left and they moved over, right? Like SoundCloud was a thing, and then when like monetized streaming took off, like Spotify and everything like that, a few early people moved over really quick, And then there was a gradual migration of everybody moving over. Not necessarily because this thing was bad, but because it was just, oh, let's go to the new thing. Oh, what, Vine's cool? Let's get on. Oh, Musical.ly is pretty cool. Oh, TikTok. Musical.ly's gone and now it's TikTok. Oh, okay, let's move over here. Let's do this thing. I was streaming on Instagram. Oh, streaming on YouTube is better. Whoa, streaming on Twitch is good? Okay. Like, you just move over, like, to a new platform. I think right now for a lot of, maybe artists in general, I speak for musician because that's what I am, but maybe just for art at large, it's like, the space is bad, but there isn't a new good space to go to. So I think a lot of people are like clamoring at anything that looks like it has any level of promise. And so anybody doing anything ever, anywhere, I'm not judging them. I'm just like, yo, I know. It's pretty wild here, right? Liana says, check-in. Work was slow yesterday morning, so I made an omelet with onions, green bell pepper, mushrooms, bacon, and cheese topped with avocado for brunch. Was V filling. This is another entry in Chef Liana. So skipped actual lunch. Work started picking up at the end of the day, of course. Ate leftovers for dinner while watching Cyberstream. DHL couldn't find my apartment, so I went outside and the guy said, hold on, and took a pic of him standing with the package with my feet. That's happened to me. I'm just gonna call it a mistake because it's only funny to me. I've shared so many freaking like DoorDash photos where somebody has dropped my food in front of the door, and I've heard it and immediately opened the door and like stepped out, and they're like, no. And they're like, please, I just need the photo. I need the photo. And they take the photo, but it's like you can see like me, or you can see my leg going outside of my front door. I love those. Why is it particularly so bad now, says Lucas. Not enough time here, Lucas. You ask a very good question, and I have the longest answer for it. But the most abridged answer I can give you, Lucas, since you're being genuine and asking like, oh, why is it particularly so bad now? Because it's so bad now because the industry itself has been hindered, like a huge slice of the pie. Like if you imagine that the music industry is a pizza pie, a beautiful pizza pie. Quite a few of those slices got thrown in the garbage in pandemic, right? A lot of music venues closed. A lot of live booking agencies like went under and took a huge hit. And so now that the music industry has had to kind of like hedge a lot of its bets, labels, publications, and venues and things like that do not want to take risks. It's not a very safe environment to take risks in, right? So like if you're a venue, you only want to book shows that you're sure are going to sell out. You know, if you're an artist and you're trying to do things on a platform, you're a publisher, you're a PR person, you're a booking agent, you're not really trying to take chances on maybe like new artists or not surefire guarantees you're going to get a return on your investment, right? So whereas before where anybody taking risk, including me, anybody in the music industry was like really open to taking risk where it's like, this might not hit, but if I just keep working long enough, I will cover my overhead just by sheer force of will, Nowadays, people don't really want to do that risk taking because they can't afford to. And so the space is way less welcoming to risk, which is what anybody getting into an industry by default needs to engage in. Like, you need to engage in risk if you're new because nothing is guaranteed. And so that's why, as a very, very bland overview, vague but accurate take on the industry, that's what I can say the answer is to you. Why is it particularly so bad now? Because 2 years of everybody losing money has made everybody a little less open to taking risks. And not because they're not risk takers, but because they literally can't afford to do so. And I think that's true for a lot of industries, not just the music industry. I was just speaking from experience in the one that I actually participate in. Jaime says, one of my students had a MySpace button on their jacket, but didn't know what it was. I can't be mad. Jaime, because I think being mad makes me a grandpa. I think, like, I'm so determined not to become a curmudgeonly, bitter old man that things that are actually upsetting, I force myself to swallow my disappointment for them. That's fine. Nobody should know what a MySpace button is. Just wear them. That's what they're there for. That's good. Who cares, right? Okay, right, Jaime? Where did they get a MySpace button from? Oh yeah, I see. I hadn't thought of it like that. That's a great explanation, says Lucas. I'm glad. I'm glad that the explanation hit. And it's nobody's fault. That's what I'm saying also. The important thing to note is that it's not really anybody's fault. It's just the way industry works. Yes. Simulation Cat says, same, Omni. I refuse to be an old man, but sometimes the kids almost make me into an old man. Yeah. Yes, you know. Yeah. Like when the person I was just talking about, like, didn't know that Old Man Yells at Cloud was from The Simpsons, I was like, but the image is literally of, like, Grandpa Simpson, of, like, Abe Simpson yelling at a cloud there. Like, I thought it was a thing Twitter made up. And I was like, Twitter hasn't made up anything, okay? Twitter has never made anything, all right? Twitter hasn't created anything. It's a bulletin board where people put things that other people have created. It's not responsible for anything other than rage. Simulation Cat says, oh yeah, they're turning me into the old man. Jaime feels the same way. And Jaime's around kids a lot because, like, that teaching job. I used to be around kids a lot more often because of my job as well, but... Being around kids did something, like, really weird to my brain because I think... And I think this happens to a lot of adults. Sometimes you don't realize how... Not smart. Sometimes you don't realize how... that stuff soaks in, right? You don't realize that. You know? A girl that I was dating in Arizona threw up in my car 4 times. And you just can't get it out, you know? You can pay for the wildest detail cleaning, but, like, it's always kind of in there, you know? I'd be chilling in the car and I brake too fast, right? And then I spill some Sprite on the seat, and somehow the Sprite would, like, activate the barf molecules in the seat, and I would smell throw up. And I feel like that's kids. Like, when I'm around kids, sometimes you get so comfortable because you're like, they don't know what I'm talking about. They don't know what that means. Ha ha ha. So you might say something, or you might express a thing, or you might make a certain like facial expression or something like that, thinking, they're just kids. But the biggest lesson that I learned is, like, those kids are going to be like 27 one day, and they're going to remember the thing that I said. They're going to remember the thing that I said in 2010. They'll remember it, and I won't. Anyways, key memories being made right in front of me sometimes, says Jaime. Yeah, that's horrifying. It's horrifying. It doesn't go away. You think it goes away. It's just like the barf. It's just like the barf in the car seat. It stays there for a while. How are all y'all, says Isaiah. Hi, Isaiah. I'm doing A-okay. We're in the check-in, but how are you, Isaiah? Tell me, how was your Wednesday? Since today we're on Thursday, tell me soon, because we are trying to end promptly today, because I think I want to get a Hungry Howie. I think a Hungry Howie. Why do I do that? I did that last time, too. Me and my friends, like, friends, I'm talking like my, like, homies I used to have. Maybe that's just a kid thing to do. Did all you guys do that too? Like, somebody would say something, and then you would just kind of repeat it over and over, putting inflection and, like, weird accents on different syllables until it was, like, almost unrecognizable as a word. And nobody was laughing. It wasn't, like, too entertaining or joke. It was just, like, that was how you... that was how you communicated with each other. Isaiah says a lot of snow today, working a late shift, so things are just off today. I'm sorry to hear that, Isaiah. But I hope you get warm. I hope you're warm right now. Does anybody know what I'm talking about? Finding new ways to say, like, me like joking and saying a hungry a Howie, or saying, like, famished Howard and stuff like that. That's not, like, I don't even know if that qualifies as a joke, as much as it's just me and my brain looking at words and trying to immediately find other ways to express the exact same thing. Yes, I was also a dumb kid, says Cyber. Then what's my excuse now? Am I a dumb man? Isaiah says, yes, it wasn't funny, but it was just code language. Okay, cool. All right. It's way more relatable than I was giving it credit for in my head. I'm just being hard on myself. I'm sitting in the sun for warmth, says Liana. Same with these plants. Look at them. They're freaking cooking. They're cooked. Spruce goose. Check-in dial-up noises, says let's see. Checked? Chucked? Chonk it? I thought Hungry Howie's was a Twitch Andy thing. Or whatever, says King Birtle. Who's Twitch Andy? Hungry Howie's is a pizza restaurant over here in the States, but maybe it is a... Who's Twitch Andy? Jinjo says, check in. I went to Porto's... Oh, Jinjo, tell it like it is. What did you order? I went to Porto's in Burbank after hearing it brought up here. It was dope, but somewhere I would go. It was dope, but not somewhere I would go if I was in a rush. Oh, Jinjo. The lines I've waited in at Porto. Whenever I have a neighbor named Dave, and whenever he has a birthday, I go to Porto's and I get him the most expensive cake they have, which ranges. It's like it's really just a I love you, Dave. I don't even know if he likes the cake sometimes. It's like, what is the most inconvenienced I can be? And it's like, I can go to Porto's, which is not in the city that I live in. I can wait in the line for roughly 45 to an hour and a half. And then I can pay for the most expensive cake they have. And then I can drive slowly back so that it doesn't slosh around in the back seat. And I can give him the cake. And even if he doesn't like it, he'll be like, Omni freaking loves me, bro. Because nobody else drove all the way to Burbank and stood in line at Porto's. Which, guys, if you don't know, basically Porto's is a Cuban bakery in Los Angeles. But it's like huge. It's like, it's sheer scale. Like the literal size of the building is massive. And also the line to get in is... It's a time. You can't pop in and out of Porto's. It's like it's an experience to go to Porto. Especially now after pandemic, the wait times got significantly worse because you can't just like run around in there like you used to. Like the line's outside the building now. It's really wild. Jinjo, what did you get? Hello, Benji Joseph. 1, 2, 3. Benji Joseph, look at me. Welcome to the stream, Benji. Once the chat opens up for you, we are in the check-in right now, so you can let me know how your Wednesday was, since today is Thursday. You have a Cuban bakery, yet claim that there is no good Cuban food. I did not claim that there was no good Cuban food, Cyber. What I said is that there is only 6 dope Cuban places that I know offhand. Porto's being one of them. And I feel like if I lived in the Southeast, I would have way more than, 6 places that I have to, I can't walk to get Cuban food, you know what I'm saying? Hey guys, it's me, Erwin. Whoa, Erwin! Whoa! You'd be wrong, says Cyber. Saying that there's dope Cuban play. Okay, here's what I'll say. My past roommate, not my current roommate, but my past roommate was from Florida and was like, bro, the Cuban and freaking West Indian food and Jamaican food is on everywhere here. Maybe it's just a Florida thing then, Cyber, and maybe the Cuban food doesn't necessarily reach you. But I will say that my roommate was actually disappointed at how there wasn't as much Cuban food here as there was over there. But I am totally willing to believe that the Cuban food cultural center is just a Floridian thing. Because Kiwi always talks about getting dope Cuban food also. And Kiwi lives in Florida. So yeah, maybe it just doesn't make it up into the South proper. I'm just realizing I don't think I've ever had Cuban food. That makes sense. I don't know if there's a lot of Cuban food in the South. Yeah, especially if what Cyber's saying is true. Maybe it's not like that, you know? Maybe it's not like that. I don't know. That's interesting. But I mean, when I think of Cubans, I do think of Florida. Well, when I think of Cubans, I think of Cuba. But then when I think of Cuban Americans, I think of Florida. If by Cuban food you mean Cubans running your local burger place, then yes, technically there are Cuban options. I don't know. Can you get a nice Cuban sandwich? Ugh, crap. Dang it. Am I going to Porto's today, Jinjo? Oh, I want plantain chips. I want plantain chips now. Oh, they make Hungry Howie's or Cuban food? Oh my god. Oh. I can't be thinking about food. I didn't have breakfast today. All right. Far more Cuban people in Florida than LA, says Jesse. It's the populations. Well, that I believe. I mean, they're a lot closer, right? More Korean people in LA, more Cuban people in Florida, right? Boo, I vote boo, says Dar. Why are you voting boo? What happened? By Cuban food. Oh, wait, I read that. But it's not like every place is has a home prepared Cuban dish. For sure. For sure. What is the thing then there? Chick-fil-A? Didn't you guys invent Chick-fil-A? Isn't like Georgia like Chick-fil-A ground zero? Check-in part 2 says, we're studying specific countries and comparative politics, and you'd think countries smaller than America would be less of a mess, but they're super not. I wouldn't think that. I wouldn't think that countries less than or smaller than America would be less of a mess. But I think a mess in a different way. Chick-fil-A is an Atlanta thing, yeah, and Waffle House and Coca-Cola. See, freaking the big three. The big three. Every time I leave the country, people won't shut up about freaking, well, Coca-Cola, yeah, but people won't stop about Chick-fil-A and Waffle House. People in Japan were like, when can I get my chicken brined and pickle juice? Why isn't there a Chick-fil-A outside of the country? Actually, like, I'm not making a joke anymore. Like, I feel like they could go international. I feel like people in freaking Brazil would like a waffle fry. Dar says the UK is a nightmare, and France's second largest party was founded essentially in a post-war was founded essentially on a post-war pro-colonizer. Wasn't everybody pro-colonization over there? I mean, France went hard, man. You ever had banh mi? Dar, have you ever taken a bite out of a banh mi and then you thought about France for a second? You thought, every time I go into a Vietnamese restaurant, which is fairly not too often anymore, anytime I go into a Vietnamese restaurant, all I can think of is like, dang, France was going so hard. France was like murking hard. They were like, move over, we're here now. Like, England was going pretty hard too. The Commonwealth is massive, but France, people don't think about it, but France was going goofed. Spain was out there doing stuff. Spain was out there freaking like slicing and dicing where they had no business being. I look at the Philippines. I'm like, why is your country named Philip? Dar says, this guy was pro-colonizer after everyone had stopped colonizing. Wait, when did everybody stop colonizing? Because I feel like it's still happening, Dar. Aren't we still colonizing? More legit check-in. After the war, man, says Dar. Oh. Hey, man, you're the student. I don't know what I'm talking about. Lindsay says, more legit check-in. I stumbled upon some indie devs on Twitter who are very into procedural generation and was reminded how fascinated I am by that. It's funny how just not being exposed to stuff can make you forget you love a thing. Amen. That's me and freaking Hungry Howies. You guys, this past week I've been like saying Hungry Howies at least 5 times a stream, and you never heard me talk about it at all in season 3. Because I forgot how much I loved it. Colonizing going on everywhere still, says Jesse. We are still colonizing. You're not wrong. I just mean the biggins. I know what you mean, Dar. I definitely am making a joke. I'm turning what you're saying into comedy, but I do get the point. I'm just playing wild card to your straight man. Has anybody referred to you as the straight man, Dar, of the duo? Dar, have you ever had to play straight man as somebody's wild card? I think I'm so much better at playing wild card now, and I need to flex my straight man muscle. But I used to be a pretty good straight man to my first roommate's wild card. I did some Googling, and apparently Lay's potato chips and Twinkies are also from Atlanta. So again, things that are bad for you. Aww. Dar, would you believe me if I told you I've never had a Twinkie? I've never actually eaten a Twinkie. Would you believe me if I told you that? I've never even held one. Well, I mean, if I hadn't had one, why would I hold one? That doesn't make any sense. Of course I haven't held one. Jesse says, the biggins never stopped. Just decided to move into much cleaner economic actions over military ones. Amen to that. I'm the straight man of most people, IRL. Interesting, Dar. I've eaten like one Twinkie in my entire life. You're still ahead of me, but I'm proud of you, Dar. Hold on. Cyber says they also call us the peach state, but Georgia makes more peanuts per capita than peaches, which makes me laugh. Peanut state doesn't sound very cool, though. How could you take what Dar just said with a straight face, says Cyber, about Dar being the straight man? IRL. Here's how I can take that with a straight face, Cyber. Honestly, because I did. Inside my brain when Dar said that, there was 3 people in my brain that said, freaking shut up. But then 7 people in my brain said, You've only interacted with Dar on the internet. I've only interacted with Dar on the internet. Dar could be the wildest, well, wow, I can't use the word wild. Dar could be like the most convincing and believable and palatable straight man in interactions in real life. But then in text, Dar becomes more wild. I'm 100% willing to believe that. I'm also willing to believe that Dar just lied to me. Your morning medley is bedtime medley to me, says Blot Park. It's 9 p.m. and a blink. Have a great day, everyone. Goodbye, Blot Park. Thank you for being here, and I hope you get a good amount of sleep. Good night, Blot. Aww. Jesse says, something about my childhood makes me try all the new Twinkie flavors. I'm sorry, what? There's flavors to Twinkies? Twinkies? I didn't know Twinkies had flavors. I'm not being, intentionally dense right now. I actually just thought it was the standard Twink. Oh, sorry, E. Twinko? Also, somebody was eating Twinkies in my vicinity. Wait, let me catch up on chat before I talk about my Twinkie story. Little Debbie be out here, though, says Jaime. Little Debbie goes hard. Which one makes zebra cakes? Because that's the one that I ate. They all taste terrible, but I can't stop, says Jesse. I can't. I say pretty much the same thing, says Dar. I don't do chaotic things IRL. Word. Okay. You're a peach versus you're a peanut. Oh, my little peanut. I like that better than peach. Peach makes me think of butt. Peanut makes me think of brains. Can you take what he says at face value, truly? No, I can't take what anybody says at face value. Guys, I'm really I'm the baby here. I'm just a baby. You say whatever you want, and I have to believe it. I have to believe it. Did y'all know Little Debbie is making ice cream flavors? She better be. Wait, I did know that, because I think Cyber broke that news. I think Cyber broke that news? That can't be what I say now. That can't be a thing I say. Yeah, I was told that one. Oh, yeah. Okay, so Cyber already. I'm behind on chat. I'm so sorry. I did say twink. I paused on twink for too long. I was saying twinko, but I said twink. I said twink, and then I started thinking, and then I was like, oh, I can't just say that. That's a thing. And then I had to add the O, but it was too late. It had already escaped my mouth. Jesse says, there was a Hostess factory next to where my cousin went to trade school. Plane. I hear the new plane is bad. Oh, versus the old one. Banana, wild berry, chocolate, strawberry. Ew, are those different flavors or all one flavor, Jesse? Banana, wild berry, chocolate, strawberry. Ew. Sorry, I had to read it again. It's still gross the second time. Twitch thinks it's a slur, says Dar. Twitch thinks a lot of things. Twitch didn't want me to say abo, remember that? Jinjo says, LMAO, I tried to quote that Twinkie line, and the mod said, nah. Little old me. I can't do it if I'm laughing. Oh, little old me. I'm just a baby. Why is that funny to me? I'm brain dead, man. Jesse says, right, today is Yay or Boo Day, not Trash Day. Where's my head? Where's your head? I'm just a baby. Cyber says, listen, I've been trying to interview you for a newscaster position for months now, and I have to return to work, so now my news segment will never happen. Oh, man. Dang, Dar. Dar always agitates the Autobot. I just ate a stick of butter. I feel unwell. Pernetic, was it a dare? Was it a dare? Or did you just eat brioche? Because there's a lot of butter brioche. I think at least one stick per bun. Twitch has marked you, says Cyber, talking to Dar. Pernetic, please feel better. Different flavors. I had them online. Should have used commas. Banana Twinkie. I haven't had the standard Twinkie, so I don't know that I have a take on what sounds good and what sounds bad. Maybe they all would be bad if I'm trusting Jesse, but banana doesn't sound too bad. Banana cream. I think I like banana cream things, and there's cream and Twinkie and banana. There's a Minion joke in there somewhere, probably. Dar says, one isn't balancing the other. It's full throttle. I'll crump with you, Twinkie Pie. What? Thank you, Dar. Thank you, Dar. Simpsons have become way more topical in the stream than they were last season. Banana Twinkie sounds scary to me, says Simulation Grant. Oh. I love the Marge voice. I love the Marge voice. I'll crump with you, sweetie pie. Oh, me? I'm just a baby. It's not even Marge. What it is it's me. It's me. It's raspy me. But the closest possible comparison is Marge. Alright, guys. We do got to get to Yerboo. I've burned so much of your delicious time. Bro, you're hilarious. I'm so happy I found this channel. I'm glad that you're here. I'm glad you're here, Benji. I'm so sorry. There's supposed to be music happening, and there's supposed to be a different thing happening, but I do appreciate you and your patience with me. We have to get to Yerboo. Benji, since you just got in, Yerboo is a segment where I show you a few items from Amazon.com, and then you tell me if you think I pulled a positive review or a negative review today. Guys, we're going to end on time today. I only pulled short reviews, so the reviews are gonna go so fast. Bow, bow, bow. They're gonna be lightning fast, guys. All right, psych.
Time to review.
Supposedly.
What kind of reviews?
Amazon reviews. Then we'll have to choose. Yay or boo.
Welcome to I need water. I'm so dehydrated. Welcome to Yerboo, the segment that only happens on Thursdays, where I show you guys. Thanks, man. I don't even know whose Ye that was. Was it Liana's? Was it Lindsay's? Was it Benji's? Thank you. Go acquire a bevy. A bevy and brekkie. Oh, God. I forgot about Slog Through the Nog. Wait, Slog Through the Nog? No. Snog Through the Slog. Get some water before your Marge voice messes you up. Actually, you're probably right, because I've been doing the Marge voice, and I'm going to have to read a lot. Hold on. Time, boo, boo, blue, boo. Ba bing bong, wee goose, gotcha, alright. What, the old whistle? Bomby boo. Snog through the log. Okay, so we're snog through the log. Ugh. We're gonna start with our first item today. Again, all of this week's reviews are going to be short reviews in the interest of time, so that we can end on time in 4 minutes. Our first item is, okay, so, pretend you didn't see that. Hold on. I forgot that I actually have to pull up the reviews because I do want to be prepared when the drum roll happens. I don't know who that is. I don't know who or what that is. Okay, so our first item is a Hot Potato Kids toy. It's a Hot Potato Kids toy. So the way this works is it's a toy that makes noise, and you pass it. You know, you've played Hot Potato before. You turn it on, you pass it between kids, and yeah, it has 40 plus. It has over 40 spectacular sayings, so it makes sound. It's kind of like, like a Bop It thing. It's a really easy toy because it's just one item that you pass around, and by its sound effects, that's how you know when you've won or lost. Again, guys, all of the reviews today really short. We're gonna crush it. We are ending on time. Why does her face look like that? Says Lindsay. Oh, I guess I never really got a good look at her face. Oh, that's not a very good photo. Also, why is her face in focus but the potato isn't? Isn't that what the product is? The prediction's up. Please vote. Wait, hold on. Potato stomach masher? Why is this? causes facial pain. Yay, the kids are all right. Or boo, mashed potato. Mashed potato, mashed potato. I would like to actually hear this thing's quotes. I couldn't find a video of anybody doing the sounds that it makes, but it does have 40 plus. It has over 40. Please vote. Spudtacular. Spectacular. Spectacle. Spudticle. Spudticle. Spectacle. Spudticle. Yeah. Refresh if it doesn't load for you, says Cyber. Thank you, Cyber. When you say please vote, I hear please clap in Jem's voice. Hi, welcome, Tina. Good morning, Tina. I'm just a baby. I'm making that. I'm sorry, guys. Season 5. If we ever make it through the break and we get season 5, that's definitely I'm just a baby as a sound command. Don't blame me. Can't be mad at me. I'm just a baby. And it's definitely going to be exclamation point baby. Exclamation mark baby. Oh, crap. Orleana's baby. I'll make 2. Well, someone clap. Shout out to Elizabeth Rosnowski. Wherever you are, I thought I loved you. Turns out I was just lonely. And it was summer. Ultra Mommy says, this kid looks confused on how to feel. Maybe they are. Maybe they are confused on how to feel. Next week, I will return to doing long reviews. I will return to picking long reviews. But the reviews, yeah. We're ending on time today. When do we end? Now, at 11 a.m. The kid looks confused on how to feel. Oh, or exclamation mark baby. I'm just a baby. What was that chord progression I was really happy about that I was playing? It was like... Going to make music with the homie today, says Ultra Mommy. Aw. What's your homie's name? Clyde? Is it Clyde? This reminds me of an 80s song. Yeah? It should. I'm using Hypertines. The kid looks like they're flinching at a gun being pointed at them. Oh, they kind of do. Maybe, okay, so maybe in the reality, or in the reality of this potato, one of his things is he's like, squeeze me. Maybe that's one of his little quotes. I'm a spectacular tater, squeeze me. And then the kids have to go, huh. You know how kids don't have, like, kids don't know how to do anything, man. Kids are whack. You know how kids don't know how to, like, control anything on their body? So, like, if they have to squeeze something, they're not able to do it with a straight face. Like, if you told them to, like, crush something with their hand, their entire body is engaged. Like, their head, their neck, their, like, back arches, their face, like, is like, they're making noise. Like, they're, like, making all this noise. And it's like, bro, you only need the hand to do that. Kids have no idea. Anyways, I think that's probably what her problem is. They probably were just like, hey, can you just give it a little squeeze? And she's just doing too freaking much. This kid's probably a grown woman by now. Tina says, heard that. And the kids go, huh? Yeah. One of the coolest things about kids is watching a kid get injured. Sorry, this, not like, actually, not seriously, not like, you know. Oh crap, is it over? See, I can't end it on that because it sounds like I just want kids to get hurt. Hold on. a funny thing is like, for me, it's... oh, fine. Oh, wait. Let's do the review first. In the case of the Hot Potato Kids toy, which is $19.99, our reviewer is Casey Larson, and Casey Larson gives it 1 star and says, didn't expect a fart sound to be among the noises made by this toy. Full review says, didn't expect fart sounds to be among the noises made by this toy. Unwelcome in my home. I guess it makes a fart sound. And that's not welcome in the home. That's unloud. They probably should have said, I mean, if it's making 40 plus sounds, they probably should have said how many sounds it made. Guys, seriously though, at this point, how many times have we looked at reviews by people that are named K-A-Y, K? I feel like this is like the 5th K we've had. And it's not all the same person. I checked. It's not the same person. Farts? We don't fart in this household. Unwelcome in my home. Farts unwelcome, USA. Wait, is USA Characters Welcome? What am I thinking of? What TV station is that? Characters Welcome. What is that? It doesn't work in this scene. I wish USA worked in this scene. I still haven't added it. Alright, guys. Alright. Just to keep things on schedule, we're going to move immediately to the second item. Our second item today is okay, so the image is kind of confusing because proportions are off. But this is a mechanical air balloon blower upper. It basically has a motor in it and a fan that pressurizes air into a balloon. And so you would like affix the balloon's like belly button or nipple or whatever you call the end part of a balloon onto these little nozzles that you see, the blue one and the pink one, and it would blow the balloon up. Ignore the really tiny balloons growing out of the pink nozzle because that doesn't make sense. That's not how big this machine is. The machine is literally the size of it's like the size of a lunchbox. It's like a little thing like this. And then you just put the little like balloons on, pew, it blows them up super fast. I looked at a few videos of it, like super fast, like in like 3 seconds. Like if you leave it on there for any longer than that, it will pop the balloon, but it's just like, shh, and then you take it off. I mean, and if you've also like been, to a party or something like that, perhaps you've seen something like this. That's not what the picture says. Electric balloon pump? It's a balloon dispenser. Like really tiny balloons like pop out of the little nipples. Very 90s colors. This reminds me of Barbie. This very specific color of pink. It makes me think of Barbie and like Easy Bake Oven. So yeah, you're right, Liana. Like 90s toy colors. Freaking Cabbage Patch Kid. Polly Pocket. Anybody remember Polly Pocket? I don't. Oh, these are so convenient for campus entertainment, says Dar. You're right, Dar. You're right, actually. I'm just picturing Kay's kids shaking in fear after Nacho Day. No farts allowed. Whoa, that went up fast. Okay, predictions up. Thank you, Cyber. Electric Pump Carnival. Electric Pump Carnival. EPC, thank you. EPC. EPC, I had to catch it. It went over my head the first time I read it. Electric Pump Carnival. Yay, plur, or boo, plug? Plug the nozzle. Peace, love, unity, or respect, or poop? Poop. What's L? What's a bad L? Lactose? Lame. Thanks, Cyber. Poop. Poop. Lame. Ugly. Gunk. Wouldn't you rather be plur than plug? Bad L, languish? Dang! If I put languished in there, then all the other words have to be a little bit more eloquent, right? So, like, pain, languished, unctuous, gird. Gunk works too, says Cyber. Alright. Okay. Wow, I'm getting hot. The cardigan was not a good idea. Wait, is VBS an acronym that I don't know? VBS? Where are you seeing VBS? Veritable bowel syndrome.
Ooh.
What is VBS? What is that? Oh, vibes. My bad. I read it as Peace, Love, Unity, Respect, Vacation Bible School. Oh my god. I never got to go to Vacation Bible School, but Vacation Bible School was featured in one of the reviews of an item, and I can't remember if I chose that one. Vacation Bible School, if anybody remembers the pig hat, remember the pig hat? It was like, I think this was like first week of Yay or Boo. One of the reviews was like, I loved it. I used it for Vacation Bible School. And I was like, I couldn't piece together why somebody would wear a hat in the shape of a pig for Vacation Bible School. It was a pig that had wings on it. You would like pull these strings and the wings would flap. Anyways, I'm sorry. I was a puppeteer at a Vacation Bible School. The kids loved it. We were talking about kids, so let me go back to my point. Thank you, Cyber. It's funny to me to watch kids get hurt or mess up at something and fall over, and then they don't have shame yet. Like, they haven't learned shame, so they don't even look around. They just kind of get up and dust themselves off, and you can see them like going like, okay, I still work, and they just keep it pushing. Like, I like it when a kid is trying to eat something and they spill it all over themselves, and they kind of look, and they'll like pick it up off of themselves and like put it back in the cup, or they'll pick it up and just start eating it off themselves. I'm like, that's what's up, bro. That's how I want to live, man. Screw shame. Why do we teach kids shame? We had people that did skits and it was the only thing people ever wanted. Oh. Virtual Bible School. Virtual Bible School. Vacation Bible School. Virtual Bible School. I would like to be a puppet for like some type of youth church or church youth. Church the youths. Why do we teach them that? That reminded me, says Dar. That reminds me of how in the Bible, Jesus literally sits in a church building, a whip to beat folks with. Sits in a church building, a whip to beat folks with. I know that man was a chaotic force. Building a whip. Oh, building a whip word. Sorry. I sits in a church building was tripping me up. I feel like me and Jesus would have got along. Oh, crap. The glare is real, guys. Hold on. In the case of the machine balloon inflator. Hold on. I gotta close the blinds because the sun is killing my ability to read, and I don't want to look like a goof. So I'm sorry. The stream's gonna get a little dark. Y'all can keep drumming. I feel you. All right. In the case, that's way better. In the case of the machine balloon inflator, which costs $22.99, by the way. Our reviewer is Wendy Carter. And she gives it 2 stars. I'm sorry, y'all. It's a 2-star. She says balloons does not go up. Hey, what's up, Panda Boy? She gives it 2 stars. Says balloons does not go up. The whole review says balloons does not go up. It wasn't what I was looking for. It wasn't what I was looking for. I needed the balloons to rise, and this didn't do it. And all it did was blow them up without having to use my mouth. Wasn't happy with it at all. I think this lady doesn't understand what helium is or something. I think she thought that this was a helium tank. But yeah, it just blows up air. I think the thing works. I think that it just didn't make the balloons go up. And so that's why she gave it 2 stars. At least she gave it some stars, you know. Better than a 1 star, I suppose. I think she's giving it the 2 stars because it did what's intended to do. It just didn't do what she wanted it to do. She expected it to generate helium, says Sareb. I think we get it. I think we get what her mistake was. Perpetual helium machine. It just creates the gas. Balloons does not go up. They put floating balloons on the picture. Jesse? Okay, alright. Yes. They are the size of dimes, but they are floating. They do indeed in the photo go up. So, yeah. So maybe she could get them on false advertisement? Maybe? I don't know. Oh, she wanted unlimited helium fountain. Yeah, that's what she wanted. And yes, welcome. Welcome, Panda Boy. Thank you for being here. Wendy Carter got winded, so she bought a wind machine. Now she's wound up. Balloons does not go up. Helium is more finite than people think. We shouldn't be wasting it in balloons. I agree with this, Sareb. I did a bit of reading on helium recently where I didn't realize it was finite. I thought that there was some type of... I don't know what I thought, honestly. I just didn't realize that it was a finite resource, and I'm like, it's kind of weird that we put so much of it in balloons that just pop and then the helium goes up into, I don't know, the ozone? Liana says, if only this little pink machine could generate helium, which we are running out of. And we just wasted it on natural resources aren't infinite. Yeah, that's scary, actually. Oh no, Wendy. Balloons does not go up. I've also never seen Wendy spelled that way. Wendy spelled that way. I do like it, by the way. I do like that spelling of the name Wendy. I operate on laser that uses a helium gas blend and prices are rising. I operate a laser that uses a helium gas blend. Whoa. Sareb dropping stuff I didn't even know existed. Y'all can't make helium? Dark can make helium. Yeah, people forget that natural resources aren't infinite. Sometimes I just forget that helium, is a natural resource. Like, when I see balloons, the last thing I think of is helium. I remember working at Fry's Food and Drug, which is a Kroger company. It was my first job, and we had a helium tank in the break room. And I got written up 3 times for just sucking helium, man. I think I was addicted. To helium, because at first it was definitely a thing where, like, me and my friends that worked there, of course, we would, like, suck up the helium, and then we would, you talk in that high voice to each other. But then after a while, I would just go in there in the break room, and I would just, like, go, like... And I would just, like, sit, and I wouldn't even talk. I would just sit there, eat my sandwich, have helium on the side while I ate my little sandwich and Doritos. Yeah, I don't know. It's one of the most common... It's one of the most common elements in the universe, though. Helium is very difficult to keep on Earth because it keeps floating away. It's very, very light. Says Jesse, I agree with this. I agree with this fact. I'm glad you're straight edge. Yeah, drugs would ruin me. I've said it before in the stream. People are like, oh, Omni, you should get into coke. We gotta move to the next item because this conversation doesn't go anywhere good. We gotta move to the next item. The next item is... Wait, hold on. Thank you, Lulu, for the follow. I appreciate you. Our next item is feudal Japanese samurai armor. Oh, God. Not my car. Oh, it's Thundercat. Who wants this? Who wants this? Starting bids at $5. Now, I'll tell you how much this costs after we do the thing. I got an ad for ketamine and Instagram the other day, and it shook me. Quite a few of my friends are on the ketamine. I can't remember what it helps with, but I've got like quite a few friends. Like, my friends, one of them, you guys actually know because she's coming to the stream. She's constantly offering me ketamine. She's like, I have more. Do you need some? She was like, you seem stressed, and I was like, I'm okay. I just need sleep, bro. I just need a slice of toast and a nap. I don't know if I need ketamine right now. I think somebody actually does need ketamine, but I don't think it's me. I don't think it's me today. All right, guys, prediction is up. I was eating helium for lunch, guys. I don't think I need ketamine. Potential haunted samurai cosplay. Oh my god. Yeah, actually. Potentially haunted. Potentially haunted. Is it yay them changes? Or, or is it boo harakiri? Guys, please vote. Oh my god, I'm so lost. I'm so lost on the chat. I've lost everything. Not on my car. I wish the pigeons heard me when I said that, Dar. I wish they cared when I said that. Helium is formed by radioactive decay over millennia. Oh my god. Yeah, never mind. Helps with managing sobriety, providing a high, says partial recall. Oh, talking about ketamine. Word. Yeah, I don't need it, but people do. If you need it, get it. If you don't need it, please don't get it. Please don't get it. Don't do it, Omni, says Tina. I'm okay. I'll be okay. I just like my cheese. I just like my cheeses. They like being in holes, says, oh yeah, the K-hole. I told you guys about how, freaking Reggie Watts, like, made fun of me for, like, 30 minutes straight because I didn't do ketamine. Did I tell you guys that story? And how, at first I was cool, but then around, like, 20 minutes into him roasting me, it did, like, make me feel a way where I was like, come on, bro, leave me alone. And then around the 30 minutes, I was like, it's fine, whatever. I don't care anymore. Reggie Watts is really sick and a very nice person, by the way. He was just being funny. But I was like, whenever I'm around a bunch of people that, never mind. Titanium says probably helps with focus or something. Talking about ketamine. Word. Absolutely. Crap. I hate who I hear. Whenever I say absolutely, I hear it in a very bad man's voice, and it makes me laugh, and it's not good. I guess you could do like air liquefying too, and that's more expensive than the helium.
Supposedly.
What? Some dude selling Xanax added me on Instagram, and there's some guy in Seattle who delivers whippets on Facebook and has glowing reviews just out there publicly. I've lost it, guys. The chat is a band of horses, and I've lost it. The reins are in the air now, and I'm tumbling in the ground about 5 miles behind you guys. I'm so sorry. I know I took us here. So it is my fault. Was that the time he also ragged on you for Yes, it was the same time. Thank you, Medic, for remembering. Yes. He was calling me Mickey Mouse. He was like, look at this fool over here. Mickey Mouse doesn't do ketamine. Mickey Mouse, you definitely haven't touched ayahuasca then, have you, Mickey? And I was like, no, I haven't. I'm sorry, Mr. Reginald. I haven't touched the ayahuasca. I love Reggie Watts. I want to know more of this story. Reggie Watts is sick. Reggie Watts is a very sick in a good way. A very sick man. I hear it in the Absolutely Productions voice, says Lindsay, that plays at the end of shows. The show it makes me think of is Nathan For You. But it's another show, isn't it? Tim and Eric? Oh my god. Alright, no shade, but Whippets community is a weird one. I don't want nothing to do with it. I met a Whippets guy one time, didn't like that energy. Panda Boy says I went to a horse farm before. Ooh, Panda? Don't get me talking about horses. I have some horse stories for sure. I have some horror horse stories. I have some horrific horse stories. That's better. That rolls off the tongue better. All right. Drum me in. Oh wait, is the prediction's not up yet? The prediction's not up. Sorry. For some reason I thought it was done. I met Whippets guy at a Raven. He was definitely a weird one. This chat is giving me anxiety, says Dean. Oh my god, dang it, Dar, I knew you were gonna make that joke. Dar, I actually knew you were gonna make that. That's why I reset it as horrific horse stories. Because I feel like if I just put horror horse stories out there, you were gonna say that. Now, I'm going to count that as a positive, that our brains were aligned for a minute there. Alright. In the case of feudal Japanese samurai armor, which costs $1,766, Ashley B is our reviewer and gives it 1 star. And says, if I could do 0 stars, I would. Looks like poop. And the review goes on to say, poop. 2 people found this review hopeful. I was gonna give it a Bootu, says Brunetic. I forgot to vote. I'm sorry, Ashley V. It doesn't look that cool, I guess. I don't know if you're supposed to wear this armor or if it's supposed to like sit on display like that. But maybe she put it on and she was like, it doesn't look good. It's a bad costume. But it costs $1,700, so I don't think somebody would spend $1,700 on just a samurai costume. Maybe she just thinks it looks bad in her house or something. Been a wild ride today, but finally got one right. They probably took a picture of a good set and then said, okay, that's actually a good point, Jesse. Yeah, maybe the photo and what she received actually does look like poop. It would have helped if she gave it. Thanks for the stretch, Panda. It would have helped if she gave a photo of her poop armor that she received in the mail. Partial Recall says, maybe Ashley's a samurai. The other samurai made fun of her Amazon armor. Dang, Ashley. Word on the street is Ashley gets her samurai armor from Amazon. Yo, it shows. Look at the gangly legs. Look at the calf armor. It does kind of look kind of weird around the calves. Okay, now I'm starting to see it a little bit, actually. Wait. Oh my god, wait. Do your legs actually not go through those? I'm stupid. Okay, guy, hold on. Before we move on to the next one, do your legs not go through these? Are these, like, pant legs for the armor, or no? Are they danglies that are supposed to hang in front of the armor? Because I can't imagine a leg fitting in whatever this is. You tie them to your shins. Okay. They're shin guards. They're shin guards to keep the samurai sword from cutting your shin. Okay. They're dangly things. That's pretty... Samurais hate leg day. Okay. My brain made these things your legs have to literally go through it. I was like, I don't think that would work. But anyways, whatever. Point is, Ashley B says it looks like poop. Or Ashley B says, is this the 4th item or the 3rd item? This is the 3rd item. Ashley B says, if I could give it 0 stars, I would. Looks like poop. All right, guys. What is our 4th item today? Our 4th item is this 5,000 piece puzzle. This 5,000 piece Ravensburger puzzle of the Tower of Babel, it looks like. I don't have any confirmation on that. This might actually be a real historical... I don't know. Maybe this is in Italy somewhere. But this looks like the biblical depictions of the Tower of Babel. So, I don't know. 5,000 God, says Lindsay. Yeah, that's a lot of pieces, right? It's a lot of pieces to a puzzle. I think I personally never got in so that the kids don't kick you with their cleats. Jesus Christ, those freaking samurai cleats. Whoa, cool, says Tina. I love your color today, Tina. I love the color of your name, or at least the way it's showing up on my screen. I love that color. Nah, man, says Jinzo. Too many pieces. Definitely looks like the Tower of Babel picture I used to see. Okay, cool. Jesse, thank you for confirming my weird biblical memory. Good luck with that left part. Oof. So here's the thing. Yeah, the sky part would be awful, says Lindsay. They gotta reach God. They gotta get up there. That's true. They have to get up there. Now, here's what I'll say about... So, hold on. The prediction's up. Please vote. 5,000 Bird Babble Burger Bit by Bible. This might be a standout. Cyber. On the 6 Cyber prediction titles, 5,000 Bird Babble Burger Bit by Bible is sick. Because you know what it sounds like to me? It sounds like Eminem rapping. 5,000 bird. 5,000 bird burgers bits by Bible. Oh, can we get Eminem to do the oh, Mom's sketty. 5,000 bird. That's how I'm hearing it. Babbleburger. Ooh, I would tear up a Babble burger. I'm so hungry, guys. Everything sounds delicious. There's 5,000 pieces to this puzzle. I remember I used to be babysat I used to be babysat by this lady named Marguerite. She was Hawaiian. Her last name was Tafuma, Marguerite Tafuma. And she had this daughter named Toyumu. Ooh. They were Mormon, so there was no chance. I couldn't get in there. They were Mormon. I was 6. Anyways, point is, I used to get babysat by this lady. And she loved puzzles. She was always doing puzzles. She would do puzzles every time I was over there. And she was always asking me like, oh, you want to do the puzzle? Or you want to help me with my puzzle? And I would get so frustrated because she would just be sitting there in silence. No music's playing, just in silence, looking at pieces, putting pieces together. This is before smartphones. Like, she had literally no distraction. She would just be putting together puzzles. And I was terrified. I was like, this is scary. I don't know why, but I'm afraid. And ever since then, guys, I've never really done puzzles much. That's like the memory that I hold with puzzles. Like, I don't understand how people do puzzles. However, when there's puzzle games, I love puzzle games. Like, The Witness, which is a puzzle game, is one of the most profound and memorable experiences I've had in games. Like, I love puzzles in games. I love figuring things out on my own. But something about this type of puzzle, like jigsaw puzzles, like, I do not want any part of them. Do you guys remember 3D puzzles? Was that just a 90s thing? There was a minute where, like, 3D puzzle was a thing. And I can remember seeing the commercial for Titanic. There was a 3D puzzle, and it was of the Titanic. And everybody was, like, really trying to get into 3D puzzles. Those did not last, did they? Why didn't 3D puzzles last? Was it just because, like, Lego was already a thing, and that's kind of its own version of a 3D puzzle? Pernette says, my friend's fiance is named Siri. That must be rough. Oof. Hey, Siri. Yeah. Oof. Yeesh. Where am I in chat? They were a morm. I was just 6. Could it be more obvious? I was just 6. Toyumu. I wouldn't be against somebody, like, sending me some photos of what Toyumu looks like today. I'm not against it. Man, my brain as a kid was so messed up. It still is. Dar says, you don't have enough layering and or auto-tune to imitate Eminem. I agree with this, Dar. My friend's fiance named... Oh, sorry. I read that one already. I'm getting through. Thanks for the lurk, Liana. We're going to need the luck. What's up, Cinnamon? Welcome. Eminem's rapper name really is just M, but there's so many layers on his voice that they call him M. And them, Eminem. I like this joke, Dar. I like this joke. He also wishes he was chocolate. Like that white chocolate Snickers bar that Cyber had the other day. Get me at it. 3D everything was a 90s thing. Yeah, 3D Doritos went hard. They brought back 3D Doritos. I don't know if you've been seeing them, Titanium, but we got 3D Doritos everywhere here, and I still haven't bought them because I know what's going to happen. I'm going to buy them. The first 2 bites will be nostalgia, and then the rest will be like, yeah, it tastes like freaking Doritos, and now I'm sick. Like, I can't eat Doritos. They make my tummy hurt. I don't know. My sister has some 3D puzzles, says Lindsay. Oh. Sick. Oh, don't remind me. So bad, says Cyber. Talking about 3D puzzles. I never actually tried one or owned one. I just remember the commercials for them. I miss 3D Doritos so much, says Partial Recall, but I totally forgot the flavors sucked. Yeah. You just mapped out what I think my experience is going to be, and I'm afraid of it. Panda Boy says, we have seen 2D, 3D, but have you seen 4D? 4D yum. I don't know how a 4D Dorito would work, actually. Thanks for the drum roll, I'm sorry. I don't know how that would work, actually, to be honest. Like, I don't know what the next dimension... I don't actually know what the 4th dimension is. I feel like I did at one point from watching Vsauce videos, but I don't know what the 4D Dorito would be like. Y'all remember the 8D audio remixes? Oh, God. Does that answer your question? Yes. In the case of the 5,000-piece puzzle of what I assume is the Tower of Babel, which costs $144, our reviewer's name today is Puzzle Guzzler, and Puzzle Guzzler gives this 4 stars and says, sold with the house. I never got the point of those, says Dar. I was woke till I stopped watching Vsauce videos. Basically. Honestly. Okay, alright. The review goes on to say, by Puzzle Guzzler. He says, I completed this puzzle about 6 years ago and glued all the pieces to my living room wall. It took me about 4 months to complete. I retired a year later and decided I wanted to move from Virginia Beach to a central portion of the state. I put the house up for sale and the buyer wanted to buy both the house and this puzzle that was glued to the wall. He did want me to remove another 9,000 piece puzzle mounted on another wall. Now I just finished mounting Ravensburger's 18,000 piece at the waterhole puzzle in my current house. Total time for that one was 9 months. Puzzle people are different. 6 people found this review helpful, by the way. Win the beginning, lose it all after that, says Frenetic. I always break even on you, Boo. Oh, there's one more. That puzzle, the 18,000 piece puzzle, took it just as long to put together as a baby does inside of a human. And I don't know that I have time for that, but I assume somebody whose literal username is Puzzle Guzzler is like about the puzzle life. So I'm not on their level. So I'm sure 18,000 pieces is like chill. Are we assuming he's dead? Oh crap, this was 2013. Uh-oh. No, I'm sure he's still alive. Cause the Uzzle. I would think it would have been cool if he went with alliteration, like use 2 P words instead of focusing on the Uzzle of the word puzzle to be Puzzle Guzzler, but that's fine. Hearing Puzzle Guzzler made my skin crawl, says Git. I'm sorry, guys. Make sure you guzzle these puzzles. Yeah, the Guzzler bit is excessive. I'm sorry, guys, I didn't do it. 2013, I hardly remember you. Anywho, he did definitely like that puzzle. You know, I thought Puzzguzz was a bit of a zealot, but I can't deny his grapefruit technique of solving really does work, says Partial Rico. Puzzle Guzzler's alive, I think. I don't want to find out. But he has a lot of time to spend on puzzles. Our final item today, guys. Our final item. Puzzle Chugger, says Frenetic, is even an improvement. That's saying something. I could have gone with Puzz Buzz or like Jigsaw Rickshaw or Jigsaw James or Jiggy Jimmy or something. Puzzle Pete. It doesn't have to be your real name. I'm sure his name isn't Guzzler. Puzzle Guzzler is alive inside all of us, like it or not. And that's a pretty good point, actually. Anytime you are in a game and the game says, find the key to this door, and you go, ooh, yay. Anytime you're in a game and it says, repeat after me, and you have to remember a pattern, the Puzzle Guzzler inside of you says, this is for me. Now I'm happy. Boo Boo the Fool. I'm not Boo Boo the Fool. What is puzzle? Sorry. Hey, we gotta move on. We gotta move on to the last thing because we're ending on time today. What's the last item? The last item is a hot dog steamer. It's a hot dog steamer. It also steams the buns. And it comes with tongs. It's a hot dog steamer that steams the buns and it comes with tongs. And you can keep a lot of hot dogs in here. All you have to do is put distilled water in the bottom. You plug it in, you turn it on, and it steams the hot dogs. And it gets the buns nice and soft. Partial Recall says, the Puzzle Guzzler is the voice inside your head that reminds you to do your Wordle. Y'all, I have no idea what Wordle is. And at this point, I think I'm like trying not to know what it is. When people post Wordle stuff, it looks like people are posting in a foreign language to me. I don't know what those squares or those lights mean. I have no idea what's going on. We have a bunch of fools in the chat today, says Lindsay. Puzzle Guzzler goes hard. I think the fact that you guys fixated... I was not expecting the name to be the takeaway of that review. I was like, wow, this dude does really long puzzles, but now I can't get Puzzle Guzzler out of my head. From guzzles to glizzies. Mm. That's true. That's true. Every glizzy gobbler. Wasn't it glizzy gobbler or was it glizzy guzzler? The glizzy guzzler. No, I guess you're right. I guess every glizzy guzzler started off as a puzzle guzzler. Or maybe the other way around. You start guzzling glizzies, and then you end up guzzling a puzzle. Glizzy Gladiator says Cyber. The prediction's up, guys. Glizzy Goblin's different. Glizzy Goblin is a different profession. The Dog Hut. Steam while you dream. Yay, fresh buns and tube? Ugh. Dang, now I want hot dogs. I can't stream hungry. Because now Wiener Schnitzel... Oh! Okay, so like I was checking my mail, and every now and then you'll get like the Wiener Schnitzel. The Wiener Schnitzel ads will come in the mail, and I wanted to this here. See this $20 meal that's at the bottom? See that $20 meal that's like 8 chili dogs and 4 corn dogs and 4 small fries for $20? I was looking at that. That's too many. I was looking at that. And I was like, that, not only is that a bargain, but my question for it, because they say no alterations. But what if you're asking for something without something, right? What if you're asking for something without something? Because these are chili dogs, but if I just wanted 8 hot dogs, literally they're saving product by giving me 8 hot dogs, but it does say no alterations. And I'm wondering if I try to go and I get 8 hot dogs for $20, if 8 hot dogs, you know, and then the 4 corn dogs and the fries for $20 if they'll let me do that. Oh, there's French fries on it. Have you guys ever had a junkyard dog? Please vote. Have you guys ever had a junkyard dog? It's a pretty good value, though. It really is. It really is. And those are beef dogs, guys. Those aren't like your regular, like mystery meat. I'm talking like freaking kosher stuff, you know? Tina says, yeah, coupons, baby. Totally used one of those for a family pack meal. Hee, so good. Wiener Schnitzel goes hard. Only it was Burger King family back in, the family pack for $12.99. I've never eaten at Burger King as a family. Does that mean my life is sad? Jesse says, would it be bad to summon a pizza man in a snowstorm? Jesse? I had this conversation with somebody else where I was like, it got heated. It got weird. But, okay, so it was like raining. It was during the like weird rain here in like LA where it was like, remember when it was raining and then the river ate all those cars? It was during that, and I was like, I want to go get food, but I don't want to go get food. And then they were like, my friend was like, why don't you DoorDash? And I was like, because I don't want a DoorDasher to bring me that food either. Like, I don't want them to be out there in it. And her defense was, she was like, they're already out there. She was like, they're already out there, so might as well bring you food. And they're working. And I was like, yeah, but I don't know. I'd feel weird. Like, I'd feel bad. I don't know. And it like we were at an impasse. Like neither one of us would budge, and I was just hungry. Anyways, so I feel you on that, Jesse. Like I always feel bad about summoning any type of courier in bad weather. Cyber says you just hand off the corn dogs to someone else in line. Yeah. I wouldn't keep the corn dogs. I would only want the hot dogs. The corn dogs, whatever. The corn dogs, whatever. I don't care. But it's about the hot dogs and the fries for me mostly. Get the toppings on the side, says Wex. Chili on the side. What are you going to do? Distribute them throughout the cul-de-sac? I mean, they can have the corn dogs. I would have the hot dogs, though. The hot dogs for me. The hot dogs are for me. The corn dogs are for them. You can't possibly eat them all. Not the corn dogs, but I can eat those hot dogs. Something about tube meat makes it easier to consume. Like, obviously, if you're using, like, artisan bread, or if you're using, like, pretzel buns, like I normally get when I go to a hot dog place, like Wiener Schnitzel, then, yeah, it's pretty filling. But if I just have a hot dog with the regular, like, nothing, like, newspaper buns, like, I could knock back a surprising amount of tube meat. What qualifies as a junkyard dog? A junkyard dog is is, I think it's a hot dog with onions, chili, cheese, and fries on it. I think there's like fries is what makes it a junkyard dog. Sorry guys, I'm catching up on chat, and then drum roll me again once I catch up on chat. I'm so sorry guys. Jesse says, I figure if the pizza man is working, they are working. Might as well get that money that day. But yeah, it feels bad. I feel you. So you're kind of like between me and my friend, where you see both sides. Kid says, I feel like you just got to make sure to tip big if you're having a food brought to you in snow. That's a good point. That's a good point. Yeah, just make it more worth the while. I can't do that to them, says Dar. Tina says, I usually tip when I order in bad weather. I mean, I tip anyway, but I guess I see what you're saying. Like, you tip heavier when it's bad weather. We've come full circle. Then you go get Domino's style and you save $3 next time, says Jaime. Yeah, Cyber got, like, the hacks. Cyber's using, like, hacks, though. I don't think it's, like, on the surface level deals. Cyber's doing, like, weird, like, combining of deals and stuff like that. Like, my brain doesn't... Unfortunately for food, I don't work like that, but I need to. I am that way for very specific things, but I need to be that way for food since I literally have to eat to survive. Does this keep them fresh and delicious? Says Liana, talking about the item over here. Yeah. Well, if by fresh and delicious you mean moist and warm. Jincho says, as someone who used to be a delivery driver, no way I'm ordering delivery on the day of bad weather. Word. Partial Recall says, I know a career delivery person near Chicago. Papa John's used to promote online discount codes, and the grand occasion of it being negative 40 degrees outside. Jesus Christ. Negative 40 is not a real weather. That's not a real temperature. Jesse says, I would have figured you'd like corn dogs. They are covered with bread. I like corn dogs, but I like specifically beef tube meat. I like for my hot dogs to be beef, and at Wiener Schnitzel, you actually can't get a beef corn dog. If you get a corn dog, it's chicken, turkey, and ham. And if you get a hot dog, it's beef. And I kind of hate that they do this, but it's a thing that they do. It's a thing they do. It's really silly. I shouldn't care. It shouldn't matter. It's all tube meat. It doesn't really matter, but it matters to me for some reason. Titanium says, as someone who would purposely fulfill Postmates deliveries during snowstorms and rainstorms, I don't mind someone making an order, but I'd expect a good tip. Word, okay. I would have voted yay, but the odds were better for boo, says Jesse. He's a superstar, knowing all the offer loopholes, says Pernetic about Cyber. Saving money is its own reward. It better be. It better be. If I'm going to eat Domino's, money better sweeten the pot. Oh my goodness. Steamed hot dogs sound like literal fire and brimstone. I prefer barbecued hot dogs, but yeah, I'll eat what I'll eat. And if steamed is what I'm getting, then I'll eat steamed. Don't knock them till you try them, says Pernetic. Yeah, I mean, I've had both. I've had both. Steamed buns, steamed clams. Lindsay says, now that I'm thinking about it, I don't think I've ever ordered food during bad weather. To be fair, I live in a city where bad weather happens like 4 days a year, right? It's not common. So typically, I can just wait it out. But like if you live in a place where there's like blizzards or snowstorms and stuff like that, I feel like you are way more qualified to have this conversation than I am. Whew. Okay. Give me a drum roll. We've got burgers at the house. I'll make you a hamburger, Omni. But Mom, you said we can have McDonald's. I'll make you a hamburger at home. It'll be bigger too. In the case of the hot dog steamer... it costs $380. It's $380 steamer. Our reviewer is Amazon customer. And the Amazon customer gives this 5 stars. 5 stars. And the with the title says, not getting hot. My biggest concern is how effective is this. It looks like it takes propane tank. So you pour in some hot water and propane to heat it. 5 stars, not getting hot. The review goes on to say, 5 stars, not getting hot.
Ooh.
Yeah, but it's not getting hot. Now what should I do? Pernetic's actually up today. Pernetic is in the positive. Guys, this was like 2 months ago. This might be the most recent review we've ever had. My take is that this person actually gave this 5 stars an accident, meaning to just ask. They were trying to get maybe customer service. They were like trying to get their question answered, and they just maybe accidentally gave it 5 stars or something. This is maybe one of the dumbest reviews we've had so far. Yeah, this is it. That was the last one. That was the last. I think this is a booming. 5 stars not getting hot? Ooh. Yeah, but it's not getting hot. Now what should I do? I can't tell if theirs is broken or if maybe they just didn't know how to work this thing. I don't know if it goes on propane or if you just plug it in. My thing is, I think you pour water into it and then you plug it in to something. And then it just heats up like there's like a metal thing that heats up. Right? Is it getting warm at least? Yeah, maybe it's just getting warm but not hot. No way it's a yay all the way. No way it's a yay all the way, says Sir Rev. It's got a gas nozzle. Oh, crap. Does it? Oh, word. Okay, okay. Maybe they left the door open? This is frenetic, so many questions. When they say it's not... When they say, yeah, but it's not getting hot, now what should I do? Nah, I'm not going to try to figure out what they mean. I'm not going to try to figure it out. And that is our final item today, guys. It cost $380. Again, quick review of our items that we had today. We started off with the Hot Potato Kids toy, which cost $19.99. That was a boo, 1 star. Then we went to our Machine Balloon Inflator, which was $22.99. That was 2 stars. It was a boo. Then we went to our Feudal Japanese Samurai Warrior Armor. That was $1,700, and that was a 1 star. Looks like poop was the review. And we had a 5,000-piece puzzle, jigsaw puzzle. That was a 4 star because the person, Puzzle Guzzler, loved it and is actually a big puzzle enthusiast that sold this puzzle with their house. And we had our final item today, which was a hot dog steamer for $380. It got 5 stars, and it does not get hot. What should I do? Pernetic says, question, can this machine be converted to use gas? Answer, no, electric only. Not set up for gas. Puzzle Guzzler is such a power name, says Aang. Yeah, he went pretty hard. People in the stream did not like his name. 6 people did find his review helpful, though, so that's good. That's good. Weird that it didn't go through, says Cyber, but it did now. Wow, amazing, incredible. Broke even, back where I started. Shake my head, says Jaime. I'm sorry, Jaime, but I guess it's better than losing a bunch, right? I did not like Puzzle Guzzler. I'm just intrigued. I wonder how this person talks. Probably super eloquently, right? They spend a lot of time alone. Doesn't get hot, though, but it did get 5 stars. And with that, that does end here. But thank you, everybody, for participating. And I hope everybody won. I think everybody did, though.
Time to do I think it's time to do the news. It's definitely time to do the news. Do
That's hilarious, Frenetic. I got in trouble. I got in a lot of trouble when I was working at IKEA because when you're steaming hot dogs, you have to put water under the thing and the tray. As a lot of people know, when you don't do that, things burn because it's now just straight up cooking them instead of steaming them. And at IKEA, I worked in the bistro, and I would constantly forget to refill the water thing underneath the hot dogs. And so the hot dogs would get really leathery and shriveled, like how your fingers get when you're in the bathtub for too long. And the manager would be like, when that happens, throw out the hot dogs. Don't give a bad hot dog to a customer. We don't know. It might be a secret shopper or whatever. We might get a bad review. And I was like, these people are spending like $1.50 for like a hot dog and a freaking drink. Screw them. Here's your wrinkly hot dog, Mr. Robinson. And you know what? Everybody freaking was happy because they've been walking around a furniture store for 6 hours and 5 miles and they don't care anymore. I could have fed them anything. I could have given them like a Slim Jim and rye bread, and they would have like cried with joy. People are really broken by the time they get to the end of the IKEA line. Anyways, yeah, if it's leaking water, those hot dogs are toast. Literally, they're toasted. Toast those buns. Dang, the lag, says Lindsay. I'm sorry. Is the lag pretty bad today? Real talk, looking at this makes me want to make a hot dog steamer. Those boys are exploding on people. Ugh, that's scary, actually. I'm so hungry, Frenetic, because that didn't even sound that disgusting to me. I haven't eaten a Slim Jim since I was in like first grade, and I would eat one right now. That's how hungry I am. Man, I want some of that one. Like, what is it? Pear soda juice at IKEA now? Oh, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, it's pear. They have the pear juice. It's next to the elderflower juice. It goes pretty hard. Pear soda is like really nice. It's like a nice alternative to Sprite. Slim Jim and rye is good. Might need some mustard though. Partial, careful. Partial, careful. You'll make me throw up. I'ma throw up. My brother used to date. My brother used to date this really wild girl. I liked her, but my family didn't like her too much. And she always used to say that I'm about to throw up. In that exact cadence. I'm about, like, if I had to spell it, like, I'm space ABOUTTA. I'm about to throw, and it was like, if you could fuse TH and D somehow, I'm about to throw up. She was always saying that, and she wasn't playing. She was constantly throwing up. She was drinking a lot, though. I didn't understand as a kid. I didn't really understand. I guess as an adult, I still don't quite understand when people like drink themselves into like they're sick now, like they're miserable. But she used to do that. I'm about to throw up, and then he was always like hurrying her in a direction. He was like, "Hold on, move! I'm about to throw up." Anyway, I'm sorry. Why did I get on that? Oh, because freaking partial recall. Partial recall is talking about mustard. Oh Christ. Okay. All right. We're in the news segment. Welcome to news. What is the news for today? We start with plants. Our plant news. Pharaoh is almost fully grown. So this is where Pharaoh's stick ends. And obviously, as you can tell, he started at the bottom. And now he's here. So he's almost out of stick growth. And I'm going to have to prune him soon. I'm not looking forward to it. Something pains me when I have to cut the plants. When I have to prune something, the like weird crunch sound when you go through a particularly thick stalk, it makes me feel like I'm hurting myself. Spent too much time with these plants. Nobu's new leaves are coming in slowly but surely, and the old leaves are leaving slowly but surely, so Nobu's doing fine. Viv is still hanging on. Not so happy. She's losing 2 leaves today, but she's alive, and honestly, what more can I ask for at this point? I just gotta keep her watered. Her soil's not good. And like part of me wants to move her into better soil, but I also have bad experiences with transplanting a plant when it's having a hard time already, because like moving a plant into new soil can be a shock enough. So if they're already kind of struggling, not the best time to do that. So I'm trying to stay on Viv and keep her happy, but she's struggling a little bit right now. Agnes, killing it. Agnes is going to be vining pretty soon. Once we start season 5, Agnes might not even be able to be like brought in and out of the stream as easily. She might need a more permanent fix maybe back here or something, because it's going to be a lot of leaves around once she starts vining proper. Booba's doing great. Probably going to get another new leaf soon. Like, it's got that nice, like, you know, when the plant, you start to see like really light green parts, like that young growth. I like that. There's a lot of that happening right now around the base of Booba. Zia's fine. Watered her yesterday, and she's just chilling. I might miss her today and move her into the living room where there's a little bit more sun. But that's the news for the plants. The news for the stream is that today is the Airbu and tomorrow is the production stream. I've already seen some samples that you guys have sent in the Discord, and I thank you for them. If you still had a sample that you wanted to send in the Discord, it's in the sample server. As long as you get it before I go live tomorrow at 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, I can incorporate it in the sample folder. But tomorrow is going to be a 6-hour-long production stream from 3 to 9. Every Friday we do it. If I do make any ambient music this time, it is going to be towards the end of the stream, because that stuff was making me very sleepy last week when I started the stream with it. So if there is ambient, it'll be pushed towards the end. I'm about to throw I see the high maze about a. Yeah, that's the news on the plants in the stream. The news on my project is I didn't work on it yesterday because I was kind of catching up with a friend and then catching up on work. So I didn't work on my project, but I'm trying to get it out. I'm just trying to get it out. Like my that's my focus now. So much stuff is happening, guys, in the world, and so much is happening in my world. And I'm like, I feel like I'm just like surrounded by distractions, and I'm like, I just need to get this out. I just need to get a few songs out, because once I get the ball rolling with a few songs from the project, then I will build up enough momentum to do everything else. But I need to like break this weird surface tension. So I didn't work on it yesterday, but I am focused, I think. So that's the news on the project. Riot says, OMG, so much time on the phone this morning. I missed like the whole stream. Like I've been lurking, but I haven't caught any of it. It's okay. I'm just glad that you're here in spirit, giving me your mathematical bean energy. Beanergy? Inner bean? Nah, Beanergy is the one. Jesse says, have you gotten some bougie mustard yet? Here's the thing, Jesse. I always say I hate mustard, which I stand by. But yeah, expensive mustard, like really expensive mustard, does taste good. And I hate that about me. Because I'm somebody that loves to slum it. Like, I like eating, like, kind of garbagey foods, you know, garbagey candies, like wax stuff, you know. But mustard is just not something I can do it with. Like, French's mustard, like yellow bottle mustard, like, literally makes me, like gag. I hate that flavor. But yeah, the like really, really fancier mustards, like they're a little bit smoother to me. Or they're strong, but in like a more mature, ew, what am I saying? I don't know, they just don't taste as nasty to me. French's is so bad, says Partial Recall. Yeah, and French's was my first exposure to mustard, so like I hated it for a really long time. But yeah, some of the doper mustards like go pretty hard. Also, mustard is something that doesn't need to be slathered on things. And I think from a kid's perspective, I used to put like ketchup everywhere, barbecue sauce everywhere. I'm like dunking stuff into like a big pool of ketchup. Nyam, nyam, nyam. But like that level of application for mustard does not work for me. It has to be like more subtle. I can't just like have mustard caked onto things like I could for barbecue sauce or ketchup. Partial Recall says, I just get store brand Spicy Brown. Spicy Brown is good for everything. But that top shelf glass jar stuff with garlic in it is fire too. Yeah. Pernetic did a thing recently. Actually, it might not have been that recent. It was last year probably. Pernetic had like a plate of pretzels and mustard. And it was the first time I'd ever seen mustard in my life and gone, I'd probably eat that. Because typically I see mustard and like I gag. Lindsay says, I used to not like mustard at all, but now I like all mustard. Whoa, yeah, I'm not a mustard person. Except honey mustard. That's funny, because honey mustard is one of the ones that I actually can stomach. Plate of mustards. Riot Bean says, I think French's yellow mustard has a lot of people thinking they hate mustard, but mustard is actually good if it's not French's. Word, yeah. I think I was just trying the bad stuff. Could be it. No, I can't say crackhead on stream anymore. I'm trying to gradually wean myself off of saying that on twitch.com. Could be a crackhead. I got a hold of the wrong stuff. I think that is, in essence, this, like, the summary of my experience with mustard. It's just like, I just got a hold of the wrong stuff. And then it messed me up. Wasabi mustard goes hard, says Jesse. Or, well, horseradish mustard. Word. I haven't had, but I feel like I might enjoy. Anybody see the leprechaun say yeah? Sorry, I can't get too off. All right, we did the news. The final bit of news, guys, that I like to do is I like to do a song recommendation. And today's song recommendation is going to get me judged by at least two of you. Because we've been talking about Seattle. And there's a lot to talk about when it comes to Seattle, right? You could talk about Amazon. You could talk about Amazon.com. You could talk about Fisherman's Wharf. You could talk about Starbucks. You could talk about 8-ounce burger. You could talk about Dick's Burger. You could talk about Seahawks. You could talk about Space Needle. I'm running out of things. Anyways, it's a place. And it's a pretty cool place. And there's a lot of really cool music there. But when we were talking about the music, a lot of times people will just sum a lot of Seattle up to be Nirvana. I'm not even saying all grunge music, specifically Nirvana grunge. So on Monday, I started off with this women-led punk band called Taco Cat that's from Seattle. And I talked about their sound. And then we went into some of the pioneers of grunge, Green River. We talked about that band and how there was a lot of punk and like hard, like heavy rock, 70s heavy rock influence in their sound. And we talked a little bit more about how grunge was way more vast than simply what ended up making it onto MTV in the 90s, you know. And then on Wednesday, we talked about... on Wednesday, we talked about Queensryche, which is a very, very dope, very, very dope prog rock band or prog metal band, progressive metal. And while progressive metal is not the sound of Seattle, Queensryche is the sound of progressive metal. And it's impossible to talk about progressive metal without talking about Queensryche. And it's impossible to talk about Queensryche without talking about the city that they came from, which is Seattle. So we included Queensryche yesterday. Now today's recommendation falls into a very specific genre too, and during the song recommendations there's been a lot of genre talk, especially like when we would talk about jazz and we talk about blues and we talk about champagne soul. And I hope what I'm getting across by talking about all these genres is that nothing matters. Like your takeaway from a lot of these recommendations shouldn't be like, oh, that's not actually power metal, that's speed metal, that's death metal, that's different than power metal, and this over here is progressive metal. Progressive metal does this and this and that, and it can never be confused with heavy metal or death metal, which does this. Like, yeah, there's all these different words that we apply to things that changed over time, but the most important takeaway that I think I would like you guys to keep from these recommendations is that none of these lines matter. They're all man-made, and sometimes when you look too closely at them, it's like one of those things where, you know, those like weird paintings or the weird like optical illusions where if you focus in on it, suddenly you see the image. Music has the opposite effect. If you overanalyze it, it ceases to be the thing that makes it special, which is just that it's a really cool sound. Somebody made noise into a sound that connected with people. All that's to say, our band that we're recommending today is a very specific genre. And I'm going to introduce the song, and then I'm going to talk a little bit more about what that is, what that genre means, and why I'm recommending this song in specific. Our recommendation today is Schoolyard Heroes, their song Plastic Surgery Hall of Fame off of the album Abominations. Now, does anybody in this chat know this band? Because my bets are that nobody does, and it's good. It was not a small band. This was a pretty big band at the time. But I don't feel like people talk about Schoolyard Heroes a lot. For a lot of reasons. There was a lot of other stuff happening at the time. There was also a band that was pretty big at the same time called Gym Class Heroes that kind of shouldered them out. They're new to me. Now, I'm so happy. I'm so glad that I can bring this to you guys. Some of you guys are going to listen to this song and you're going to laugh at me, and I'm cool. I'm totally cool with that. Because I still love this song. I haven't heard this song in a very long time. But why am I recommending it to you guys today? One, it's a really good song. Oh, yeah? Yeah! 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 Why is it a good song? Because this song is horror punk. How many of you guys like horror punk? Now, am I featuring this band because they made horror punk a thing? No. Arguably, horror punk was invented by Misfits? Ooh, don't quote me on that. I actually don't know. I have a lot of punk knowledge, but I feel like... Well, I'll put it this way. If Misfits didn't invent horror punk, they definitely popularized it. That specific brand of it. So, we're going to get a little bit into what horror punk is, because that's the second reason why I want you guys to listen to this song, and what it means. So, when you're making any type of art, guys, you can take inspiration from a lot of different things, right? When you think about Judas Priest, which I shouldn't get too into because we're going to talk to soon. When you think about like how people think about metal, and they think about spikes. When they think about metal music, they think about spikes and like biker gear and leather and stuff like that. That is not a thing that was naturally together. There was just one dude. There was one dude in Judas Priest that was like really, really into biker fashion and like BDSM culture, and he started dressing like that on stage. And his band was so good and so prevalent that other metal bands were like, I guess that's metal now. I guess a garter belt is metal now? I don't know. I guess like a leather biker hat with a bunch of spikes all over it is metal now. Because that was never the case. That was never that way. Like, a lot of times in music, visual media and visual things like fashion gets in there slowly. And once it's in there, it is part of the genre now. It's part of the visual identity of the genre. Every genre has a visual identity. People that make classical music look a certain way, or will dress a certain way, will talk a certain way. It's a much bigger than just, these sounds or chords that somebody's hitting. So what is horror punk? How is it different than horror metal, which is different, by the way? How is this different than just punk music, skater punk, How is it different than speed punk? How is it different than ska punk? Whatever. So when you think about, just look at this album art. Look at the font. Look at the image that they're using. This mummified person. It's a very specific ideal. Now, while goth metal and gothic fashion and goth rock, a lot of those things took a very different inspiration when it came to horror and their visual language, the visual picture that they were painting with their music. And a lot of it comes from religion. Like when you think about goth metal bands, just for a second, even if you haven't listened to a lot of goth metal and death metal, think about it for a second. There's lots of goat heads. There's a lot of pagan imagery. There's a lot of angels and devils, demons, Lucifer. There's a lot of religious backing to a lot of those horrific or creepy or scary or divisive images. Now, when you go into horror punk, there is none of that. Where is horror punk getting its imagery from? Where is horror punk getting its messaging from? The answer to that is indie horror films. During this time, by the way, to place this, to date this is early 2000s, 2003 to 2010, that era. During this time, a lot of younger people, which is what this band was, younger people, were getting really into horror movies, but not horror movies that were big at the time, which were post-slasher things. They were getting into old cult horror films. A lot of people were really discovering things like House of a Thousand Corpses for the first time. People were discovering things like Evil Dead for the first time. Things like that were big in the culture. And so when these people were making music, they were taking a lot of the imagery from these things. These really horror movie, but also kind of turned up, goofy, creepy, almost exaggeratedly violent and dark and demure. This is what the visual styling was of horror punk. And actually, I know I said that I don't know if they made it, but they popularized it. If you think about Misfits, whether you've listened to Misfits at all, we all know the Misfits logo, right? Can I just get 2 yeses? If I say Misfits, you guys know what their logo looks right? That's not an inviting, chill, music-based logo. If you didn't know any better and you just saw that logo, you wouldn't go oh, it's a band, right? You'd be that's horrific. That maybe that's for a horror movie or something. Maybe that's a horror game logo. Horror punk, that's what their thing was. It was horror movies turned into that. Now, there's a completely second thing that comes into horror punk that I don't super understand, so I'm not going to spend too much time here. But a lot of rockabilly seems to break into it. And we talked about rockabilly a while ago and how a lot of rockabilly's origins are in blues and early rock and roll. Not exactly sure why horror punk dips into rockabilly sometimes, but the second reason I want you guys to listen to this song is because it's an amazing example of horror punk. So good. I love this song. And there's a lot of bands that sounded like this. There's bands like the Birthday Massacre. There was a lot of bands. Even My Chemical Romance had a lot of that in their earlier catalog. There was a lot of bands that were drawing inspiration from horror. They were using horror. Their song titles were kind of upsetting in a way. Look at this song title. Plastic Surgery Hall of Fame off of the album Abominations. Look at the freaking album art. Before I go to the third, just as a fun thought experiment for me, because I haven't listened to this album in a while, and so this might not work. But what I'm going to do is read the track listing off of this album, because I'm pretty sure a lot of the titles are probably like Plastic Surgery Hall of Fame, like junk like that. Hold on. I should have prepared it, but I didn't even think to do it until just now. Here's the oh my god, okay. Here's the song title, the track list. Dude, Where's My Skin? Clearly a Dude, Where's My Car reference, which was big at the time, but also like horrific. And also kind of like hokey and over the top goofy. Dude, Where's My Skin? Track 1. Track 2, The Plastic Surgery Hall of Fame. Track 3, Cemetery Girls. Track 4, Violence is All the Rage. Track 5, Children of the Night. Track 6, The Last Man on Earth. That's pretty innocuous. Track 7, Razor Blade Kisses, which I almost recommended. I ended up deciding no on Razor Blade Kisses because I feel like this is a better example, but good song. Sometimes They Come Back. Track 9, Beautiful Woman Hunter. Track 10, All of the Pretty Corpses. Track 11, Screaming Theater in a Crowd Fire. There's a lot of that throughout horror punk. The third reason why I want you guys to listen to this song is because the song uses mixed meter and weirder time signatures, which you don't experience at all in punk. Horror punk was probably the first example of messing with like weirder time signatures, and this kind of bled into a lot of pop punk. Like there's a few even just Fall Out Boy songs that have weirder time signatures, but we're talking about Schoolyard Heroes today. So what do I mean when I say weird time signatures? The verses of this song are in 7/4. Dun, 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 dun. No, the verses of this song are in 15/4. The verses of this song are in 15/4, and then the chorus of the song is in 7/4. But then the last line of the chorus is in 15/4. It's really weird. Basically, none of this song is in 4/4. The song is kind of like a weird time signature, but when you're listening to it, it makes sense. When you just sit and you listen to the actual like lyrics of it and like the singing of it, you can find the rhythm in it, but it's definitely not something that is in 4/4 or comparable to a lot of punk music that was happening at the time. Because even Taco Cat, which I played at the very beginning of this week, there's a really nice bookend to it, by the way. Taco Cat was punk music, right? Remember the song Hey Girl? It was like this nice punk anthem. But this song is also a type of punk. It's horror punk, but the level of sorry, I just have to add it really quick to season 4 playlist. But the level of like weird mixed meter that we're getting in here is nothing that you're gonna find in a Taco Cat song. Somebody's beeping. So the song recommendation again today is Plastic Surgery Hall of Fame by Schoolyard Heroes off of the album Abominations. And the reasons why I would like you guys to listen to this song is 1, it's a really good song. 2, it's a great example of horror punk, which we have not talked about yet in our recommendations, and I think it's a really important genre to mention, especially since we've been spending so much time on like punk and punk adjacent genres in the past 3 weeks. The third reason why I want you guys to listen to this song is because of the weird time signature that's in it that is not indicative of punk music. You would not write a punk song in 7/4. You wouldn't write a punk song in 15/4. This was a weirder thing that horror punk was introducing to that scene. And again, kind of like I said before, like genres are genres, everything's different, but you know, at the end of the day, whatever. Music is music. Hope you guys enjoy it. I think I might actually listen to the album Abominations while I'm working today. Some of it is nostalgia for sure, but there's just a part of me, right? Like, I think growing up, I always thought that you're a kid and then parts of your childhood die and then you gain new parts and then parts of your teenage identity dies and you become an adult. And then you become a father, or then you become a grandpa, then you become an old man, then you become a construction worker. And as you're becoming new things, the old parts of you die and you get new parts. But something that I'm learning more in the past 5 years of my life is that those old pieces are still there. You just don't feed them. A part of me wants to just mosh. There's a big part of me in my belly that just wants to mosh to freaking Schoolyard Heroes and like the Wombats or the Used or a Fire Inside AFI. Like, there's a big part of me that wants that, but I don't feed it, so it feels like it's dead. But here, listening, because I had to listen to this song, I was like, oh, they're from Seattle. Let me talk about another 6 Seattle band. And I listened to Plastic Surgery Hall of Fame, and then I was just like, God, I missed this type of music. And I just like went on like a whole horror punk tangent. Back on the Misfits talk. Holy crap. Doyle is still ripped at 57. That's horrifying. But the best I can possibly hope for, right? Riot Bean says, I love this segment. I feel this so hard, says Riot Bean. Yeah. It's interesting. It's a thing that I'm like learning more and more. I was playing Genshin Impact. Yes, Genshin Impact. Not recently, but I was playing it a few months ago. And while I was playing, I was just listening to freaking... Crap, what's the name of that band? Hold on. And we're gonna end, but I was listening to... No, it wouldn't be in there. It wouldn't be in there. It would be in my release radar, because I just came out with a new thing. Oh, this is gonna bother me. That's gonna bugger me, guys. Who was I listening to? Anyways, it was a hardcore band, and I hadn't just sat and like listened to hardcore in so long, and it just felt good. I felt like I was like taking a shower or something. It was weird, because it's, you know, you fall into phases where you listen to a lot of stuff, or you won't be listening to anything at all. Crap, I keep almost saying the name of the band. It wasn't In Flames. They're pretty big though. They're pretty like mainstream hardcore music, but I like went back and listened to it, and I was just like, crap, man, this feels good. Anyways, I'm glad that you guys were able to stick through it. Thank you. And that concludes Seattle, by the way. That's it for Seattle music. And is this the last time we'll mention the Seattle artists? No. And I could have chosen a lot of other people, right? Like we already talked about some of these people. We've already talked about Modest Mouse. We've already talked about Postal Service. And then there's people that like spent time in Seattle. Like, yeah, Quincy Jones spent time in Seattle. Or, Jimi Hendrix was born in Seattle, but it's like, but Jimi Hendrix didn't really become Jimi Hendrix until he moved over to England. So it's like, I don't want to bring up Jimi Hendrix in the Seattle talk. So I tried to keep it to things that were maybe a little less talked about, but while remaining to be still interesting and educational. So that was all for this week. We had Green River, the pioneers of grunge. We had Taco Cow, a lady punk band. Then we had... And then we had Queensryche, a really big pillar in the progressive metal world. And then today we had Schoolyard Heroes, who is horror punk, which is, you know, a personal pleasure of mine, but hopefully just something new for you guys that like listening to punk music. Whew. It's a soup raid today. I think my reply or my response to that, Lindsay. Hold on, I want to stick this. The reply that I have for that is that being in a band or being in bands did open me up to more genres than maybe the average person, but also this is a thing that I used to complain about, but my parents moving me from the area that I grew up in to like the suburban area also did a lot for exposing me to different genres of music. And I think also, hold on. I also think that everybody experiences a wide berth of genres, but they just don't think about it. Everybody's like, ooh, I love the song Just the Two of Us. Who doesn't love Bill Withers? But then when they think about it, they're like, what kind of music is that? You ask that person, what kind of music is Bill Withers? And they're like, I don't know, soul. And it's like, no, you're wrong. You're freaking wrong. It's smooth jazz, baby. And it's like, oh. Oh, I know the song Age of Aquarius, and it's like, okay, do you know Fifth Dimension? They're like, no, who's that? I'm like, that's who made that song. Do you know what Champagne Soul is? No, what's that? That's the genre of that song. I think it's just that I'm like looking at things like under a magnifying glass, whereas most people just listen to a wide array of beautiful music throughout their lifetime. They don't think about it in the same way that I don't think about like film and what millimeter it's shot on. People are like, oh, we're showing Dumb and Dumber in 45 millimeter, and I'm like, I don't know what that means. Have I even seen a 45 millimeter film? Probably. Does that exist? I don't know. Anyways, thank you guys for being respectful to me and polite to each other. I appreciate you all always. Tomorrow I'll see you for the production stream on Friday, but we're going to do a soups raid really quick. Please enjoy. I'm going to grab some food and then I'll be in there. Grab a snack. I'll be in there on my phone for sure. Abo, everybody.